Hello, Nicole, my sweet baby. This is the Mohan report. This is 50 years after. 50, 53 years later. This is 53 years later. Has anything changed? If we don't know about the Mohan report, we're gonna find out tonight. Now let's go. Cause it's good. We gotta revisit and see, did history change or did history did not change? Let's go.
Foreigners into America. Now, keep in mind, the 1960s was a volatile decade. So Congress and President Johnson needed a solution fast. Instead of following what the Moynihan report recommended, which was fully integrating Black Americans economically, Congress and Lyndon B. Johnson, they pushed for the Hart-Celler bill, also in 1965, that would instead bring in millions of foreigners. But yeah, I mean, it backfired on those same white congressmen because now their white grandkids are competing with the same foreigners who were supposed to displace Black Americans. See, the alt-right, these neo-Nazis are the grandchildren of those congressmen who passed the 1965 Hart-Celler bill or act that allowed all these foreigners in. So this is basically what I found that was kind of like, it kind of stuck out to me because think about it. In 1965, you had this Moynihan report, and then you had the Hart-Celler Act. And this goes to show you how much the government really just hates Black Americans. They said, instead of fully integrating you Black Americans who've been here since the 16th, 17th century, we rather bring in foreigners from Bangladesh, Pakistan, India. We rather bring them in and fully integrate them. But like I said, it backfired on these white folks, because now their grandchildren, that Congress in 1965 who passed that Hart-Celler bill, their grandkids, their white grandkids, these alt-right pussies are flipping out. They're the ones having to compete with these foreigners that were supposed to displace Black folks. So, I mean, like I said, whenever you do things that are supposed to be detrimental to Black Americans, it always backfires. Like during the same time period, 72, they legalized abortion. And now look, the white birth rate is far below replacement level. That also has these alt-right neo-Nazis flipping out. So all those policies that were implemented in 1965 and 1970s, when it comes to abortion, the Hart-Celler Act, it all came back to haunt white America. It's biting them in the ass. Let's hop into this article. Now, this is the Kerner Commission report. This is the report that was given to President Lyndon B. Johnson. Set up some type of committee, and they'll get into it right here. Check it out. After intense mid to late 1960s urban riots, President Lyndon B. Johnson commissioned the National Advisory Commission on Civil Disorders, generally known as the Kerner Commission, to study the cause of the riots and to propose situations. Again, this is 1960s. Remember, the Congress and Lyndon B. Johnson needed to figure out a way to stop these riots across the country in major cities. So their solution was, let's bring in a bunch of foreigners.
Oh yeah, you got to turn it down a little bit.
Bring
It's
a bunch of
echoing.
foreigners from all over the goddamn world and put them into these Black inner city neighborhoods. That way you're going to have groups of people with different interests. And when you have people in one area with multiple different interests, it's less likely you're going to have riots. But when
Turn
you
it down a
have
little bit, Tony.
people
I
that are
did.
in
You
one
want to
area
turn
and they
down
all have
more?
one interest, like it
Just a
was
little bit
for a
more.
long time up
Then
until
maybe that's
1965,
him.
they're
Yeah,
going
it
to,
is.
riot and demand certain
What
things. So
about
they
now?
said the best way to handle this, the best way to prevent these large-scale
Still
riots
super loud.
in the future is by bringing in
I could barely hear
foreign
it. Hold on.
immigrants,
But then
legal
I'm
or
going to have to cut your
illegal,
thing down
and
because
put them in Black
mine is almost
neighborhoods.
at zero.
That was their solution. And like I said,
Oh,
it did
sound good now.
backfire, but
Oh, okay.
instead of fully integrating Black Americans into this economy like the Moynihan report suggested, this is what Lyndon B. Johnson said. We're going to let millions of foreigners in. And it has come back to bite white America in the ass. Now they've lost their country to foreigners because these foreigners came over here. They have a higher birth rate they have a higher birth rate, and plus they're holding on to their language, tradition,
Yep.
culture, and customs.
Yep.
So this is how the Hart-Celler Act, the 1965 Hart-Celler Act, is backfiring on white folks in Congress who passed that law, hoping to solve the Black problem during that time period. It all has backfired. Let's keep on reading. Let me see. Where was I at? Fuck. All right. Their report issued in March 1968 argued that the riots were caused in large part by poor neighborhood conditions and limited labor market options facing Black Americans as a consequence of racism and rampant discrimination in housing and labor markets. Kerner Report 1968. These factors underlay the development and maintenance of the northern Black ghettos, where residents endured extreme segregation, limited housing choices, concentrated poverty, and poor schools. Kerner 1968. Although the report's authors believed in full integration as the long-term solution, They argued that more immediate relief was possible through large-scale targeted government investment in housing, education, and employment programs, and more robust social insurance programs. Instead of doing this, the government said, hey, fuck you black motherfuckers. Fuck you motherfuckers. You've been here since the 16th, 17th century. We're still going to bring in foreigners. We're going to bring in foreigners. And we're going to integrate them into the economy. That's what the Hart-Celler bill was about, 1965. There had to be a solution for those riots. There had to be. And the best way that you can counter those riots, one, and the best way you can prevent fully integrating black Americans is first by bringing in the foreigners and integrating them economically. And secondly, you're going to solve the riots because when you have a neighborhood and you put a person from Pakistan in there, a person from Bangladesh in there, a person from Poland in there, and then there's some black people, you have people with different interests. So it's a less likelihood they're all going to join together and riot. No, you can have one person one group doing bad, the other three groups are doing good. So they're not going to feel as there's a reason to riot. So that's a strategic way in which you can prevent large-scale riots. You bring in foreigners, you bring in different groups, and that are still relevant. Racial segregation remains the defining feature of many
U.S.
U.S.
cities. Black face higher unemployment and lower wages. Huge parties and wealth purses at levels near those described by Kerner and his colleagues 5 decades ago. Right?
Blacks face
Then it says reduced unemployment doesn't equal improved well-being for black Americans. Right?
1965 to do two things: to one, stop the riots, and two, fucking push you further and marginalize you further to the back of the bus. I mean, think about it. You already have millions of low-skilled black Americans, right, in this country, and then you bring in millions of more low-skilled foreigners. What you're doing is you're economically squeezing the low-skilled black Americans out of the workforce. And then what that does is that causes a chain reaction to where those low-skilled black Americans who don't have that much skill, once they're priced out and pushed out by the illegal foreigners who come in, since they have low skills and more than likely low intelligence, they're going to go out and do some stupid ass shit like commit some crime. That's going to put them in one of these private prisons. So this is all a political strategy to fatten the pockets of strategic thinkers who basically wish to not only capitalize off of black misfortune, but also capitalize off of basically seeing people just self-destruct when they had no other option. Now, in my opinion, I think that if these laws, if the Moynihan report was enforced or followed, and those millions of foreigners weren't allowed to come in to squeeze the low-skilled black Americans, the incarceration rate wouldn't be what it is. But see, that was strategically done. They knew the government knew that once they allow millions of low-skilled foreigners into this country, it would financially squeeze the bottom low-skilled black poverty class, and it will force those guys to go out commit crime, which would again fill the beds of the private prisons. Let me get back into this. Given the attention raised by the Kerner report on black urban neighborhood conditions as both a cause of the riots and a potential metric of improvement, we thought it might be instructive to revisit how neighborhoods and riot affected cities evolved in the subsequent decades. In a recent paper published in a special issue of the Russell Sage Journal of the Social Sciences, devoted the legacy of the Kerner report, we examine how black neighborhoods, both riot affected and not, have evolved on a number of key social indicators over the decades spanning 1970 to 2010. So basically, they weren't able, they didn't implement the Kerner report or the Moynihan report or none of the programs. And they're just trying to tell you, even though those programs were not implemented, there still was progress. I mean, look, economic inclusion, this Kerner, this committee, whatever, they told him the solution. They told Congress the solution. And Congress said, fuck that, man. I'm not fully integrating these black Americans into the economy. Let's bring in these foreigners. Let's open up the borders. Bring them in. And now look at the grandchildren of these white congressmen who did that.
Now we're going to get back to him, right? We're going to get back to him. Now we want to see what Cynthia G has to say. We're going to see her take on the Moynihan report. Okay? We're going to get back to him because everybody has different views, and we would then say what our views is going to be. Okay? It's my girl, Cynthia G. Thank you for not flagging the page, sister. Thank you.
That's what these are. My glasses, my regular glasses are much smaller than these. My regular glasses are smaller. And if I didn't have my contacts on, even with these glasses on, I wouldn't be able to see anything. And so since I'm going to be staring at the computer reading this report, I have to wear these glasses. And yes, we can drill in these glasses too. For those who are wondering, we can absolutely drill. But hold on for a second. Let me pull up the chat on my computer. Effects or health issues, ain't nobody to sue. Ain't nobody to sue. You can't sue nobody. They got 4 years blanket immunity. 4 years of blanket immunity. You cannot walk into a court and sue them. The judge will say, nope, you can't do it. No, you cannot do it. So the fact that there's something that's being forced, but nobody has to take liability for, how dare you, Joy Reid, tell Nicki Minaj that she can't say what she's saying? If I was Nicki Minaj, I would have told her to go straight to hell. This is why I'm telling you guys, I couldn't be a celebrity. I couldn't be a celebrity. I couldn't be a celebrity because you're not going to tell me what I can say. You're not going to come try to check me. And I'm glad that Nicki Minaj put her in her place. I'm glad that Nicki Minaj put her in her place. I'm not a Barb, but I have always liked Nicki Minaj, especially when they do the comparison between Nicki and Cardi B. It's hands down is Nicki Minaj. Cardi B is T-Rash with a capital T. And I don't like anything about her. Nothing. I don't even understand why other people like her, but it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, I don't understand that.
I had to fast forward that part. You can't speak upon
I don't understand that. How are y'all? And I'm not shaming anybody. I'm just going to tell y'all something about me. Ain't nothing that they can say to me that's going to make me go out and put something in my body. Y'all do whatever y'all feel like y'all got to do. Y'all do whatever you feel like you of them. But he was laid up in the hospital because that's psychology too. Who sits up there and says, oh, it don't matter who comes in after him? Never once thought that who comes in after could be worse. Oh yeah, and black people have been complaining about their decision since they made it. This is why you don't make decisions from emotions, because you always regret decisions that you make out of fear and emotion. It just is what it is. You should never vote just because you want somebody out of office and you don't think about the person who comes in and how they could be worse. The racism in the healthcare industry, they won't deal with this. They can't force you to do anything. They're not. A lot of employers do not want to give this option. 58, 57, 56. 56 years, they have not been able to rebound. So since welfare took them out of the home at least 56 years ago, they somehow could not get, they now cannot rebound from it 61, 2021. They're saying since the 1960s, they've been put out the home. So let's say, let's just do 1960. They're saying that a rule that lasted maybe 3 years has literally affected them, and 61 years later they can't rebound from some mind you, the legislation didn't even happen. What they're saying, somebody taking them out of the home, that didn't happen. Understand that that really didn't happen. Nobody ever took black men out of the home. Nobody ever took black men out of the home. But let's entertain it and say hypothetically somebody took black men out of the home. So black men are saying in the 60s they were taken out of the home for welfare. So if we do 1960 and we do the math, that's 61 years ago. They're saying a rule, the man out of the home rule, that mind you, they did not go to the Supreme Court so that they can get it repealed. A black woman did. They're saying that this rule that literally lasted for 4 years max, they now cannot rebound from it 61 years later. It has been 61 years since the 1960s. 61 years.
Carter, get out of there.
From 1960. 1960 to today is 61 years. Now, we can say maybe 1964. Fine. Let's give them 1965. That was the civil rights movement. So then we would subtract 5 from 61, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56. 56 years, they have not been able to rebound. So since welfare took them out of the home at least 56 years ago, they somehow could not get back in it in 2021. And now their rate of absentee father is actually higher. Now that that rule has not been in place, their absentee father rate.
Now, I can't express this enough. I cannot express this enough. The black man was not taken out the home. You cannot kick a man out of a house that belongs to him. If he is the head of the household, you cannot kick the black man out. He was never the head of the household. That's why it's so easy for men to walk away, because they didn't even consider it home. Because when you married, or you really married legally or married through a common law, no man wants to leave their home. So was it really their home they was kicked out, or did they get kicked out of a place they was just laying up? Was they just laying up there and laying other places too? Because usually when it's your home, you're going to fight to stay in your house. You're going to fight to stay in your house. You're going to get that job so the bills can get paid. You weren't paying bills. This is before public assistance. She went to public assistance because she was getting ready to get kicked out for the bills not being paid. So it was a lot of things that y'all have to admit that y'all were not doing. Because if you're not on public assistance, this is to get on public assistance. But if you're not on public assistance and the man is paying the bills, there's no reason for public assistance. And I don't want to hear, because she wanted the extra money. That is not. If you go back 60-something years, how much extra money was it compared to a man who's working, having a good job? So women, don't listen to that. And y'all young youth, don't let these older men tell y'all that. Because if it was your real home, you're gonna treat it as your real home. You're gonna pay your bills, and you're gonna take care of your kids and take care of your household. So you really was laying up. But no, nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to say, hey, I was laying up. She got my kid. I'm laying up. I can work, or I don't have to work. I ain't really got to do nothing. And I got some place to lay my head, and I got some food in the house. But when times got bad and he wasn't working, she had to go get public assistance. All right, let's go.
It is now higher, 56 years later. How is that possible? Unless you're a weak, expendable trash bag bandit who's looking for excuses. How? Now we know 1960 was 61 years ago, but let's give them 1965. No, let's give them 1968, because 1968 was when the man out of the home rule got repealed because a black woman, not a black man, because black men wanted to be in a home so much, he never once went to the Supreme Court to get that one repealed. And since black women didn't want a man in the home, she went to the Supreme Court and got that rule tossed out, not a black man. So let's give them till 1968. We're almost in 2022, but sure, let's give them 1968. So 53 years. A rule that lasted for about 4 years has somehow kept black men out of the home for 53 years, although it was abolished in 1968. And they somehow have not been able to get back in the home for 53 years because of a rule that they're saying took place in 1968. Because we got to do 1968 because this was literally repealed. The man out of the home rule, federal Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court tossed that out in 1968 because of a black woman. They have not been able to get back in the home since. So now let me play this video for you guys. I'm going to share the screen. Hold on for a second. I'm going to share the screen because I want y'all to see this bonnet wearing struggle bandit. The fact that he's wearing a pink bonnet says everything. But let's listen to the lies of this bonnet wearing struggle bandit.
So the report says black man.
Oh, hold on, because this is part 2 of his trash bag lies. I gotta go to part 1. That's the second video I need to show you guys. So let's look at the pink bonnet wearing struggle bandit and the lies that he has to tell. And how pathetic do black men sound saying this anyway? But here.
It's okay not to be educated, but just go read the Negro Family, the moynihan report from the 80s and 90s, and you'll find out that black women chose government assistance, government jobs over a black man. They knew after the Civil Rights Bill of 1967 that they were using that to only hire black women to fulfill the bill, a woman and a black person. So black men were denied jobs. At that point, after the war on drugs, right, when the crime bill came out in 1966, through the 80s and the 90s, they were saying if you live in the projects, you can't get welfare or food stamps if you have a man in the home. So black women chose that over their black men. Y'all abandoned us first, and then you praise shows like Tyler Perry, where they're showing only black man as back abusive figures and a woman as head of the household, even though it was a man playing the woman, all through the 2000s. You got Oprah as your leader. It's okay not.
Okay, so first let's comment on this first one. Then we'll go into the second one when he gets corrected. First of all, he doesn't even know how to pronounce the Moynihan report. That's number 1. Number 2, the Moynihan report says literally the exact opposite of what he's saying. So let's share the screen again. This is the Moynihan report. The Moynihan report actually says black men deserting their children is what caused welfare. They've been doing this since the 1930s. Since the 1930s, the late 1930s. And it says right here, the breakdown of the Negro family has led to a startling increase in welfare dependency. This is what the Moynihan report says. It doesn't say that black women traded you in for food stamps. It doesn't say that a black man was the head of the home. It actually said the exact opposite. It said, number 1, although there were 4 times the amount of black men in the workforce, because he also sat up here and said, oh, they were giving all the jobs to black women. No, there weren't. According to this Moynihan report, there were 4 times the amount of black men in the workforce than black women. 4 times the amount. There were 4 times the amount of black women or black men who were given jobs over black women, according to this Moynihan report. We went over it in the previous videos. If you need to go look over those previous videos on the Moynihan report, go look at part 1 and part 2, and it talks about how there were 4 times the amount of black men in the workforce than black women. Nobody gave black women more jobs. Black men received more welfare when it was available, and they received more jobs. They received more help in the education system at school than black women. Black men were handed out these things. So they're trying to say, oh, well, somebody needs to abandon him. He needs to abandon that pink bonnet that he had on his head that nobody told him to get on here wearing. Sir, why are you on here wearing a pink bonnet? Not even able to pronounce the Moynihan report and spreading lies. I don't know where your comprehension is, but here it is in black and white and blue. It says the breakdown of the Negro family has led to a startling increase in welfare dependency. Nowhere on here does it says black women traded black men in for welfare. It just doesn't say that. There's nowhere in this part. There's just nowhere in here that it says that. It does not say that. I don't know why they're trying to make it say that. It doesn't say that. It says that you are deserting and walking out on your family because you couldn't provide for them. It just is what it is.
Now, next time a man bring that up, ask him to show it to me. Say, show it. No. Show it to me. Show it to me. It has been estimated that only a minority of Negro children reach the age of 18 having lived their lives with both of their parents. So it has been only a minority. That means very little black children grow up with both parents in the household. Okay? Now, you notice this is before we get to the welfare dependency. This is before we get to that. Okay? Once again, this measures of family, this organization is found to be diminishing amongst white families and increasing among Negro families. So what they saying was, white men used to do it. White men do it too. White men was doing it first. White men was doing it first. They was leaving their kids first. They was leaving their households first. And then it became increasingly among Negro family. The breakdown of the Negro family, they studied the heck out of us, has led to startling increase in welfare dependency. The majority of Negro children receive public assistance under the AFDC program at one point or another in their childhood. At present, 14% of Negro children are receiving AFDC assistance as against 2% of white children. So we got them by 12% at this point in time. 8% of white children receive such assistance at some time, and against 56% of non-whites, according to the extrapolation based on Hugh data.
It is. Let's look at the second video of this delusion. And then we're going to read more of this because I want to read this little part right here. And then I'm going to go into the part about the youth, because the part about black youth is disturbing. But let's play this second video of his delusion, because he claims to have read the Moynihan report.
You cannot trigger us. You can't. One thing One thing you can't do is trigger anybody, because the truth is not too complicated. The truth is that men was laying up. These women was getting these apartments, and these men was laying up. That's the truth. The truth is going to trigger you men. It's going to trigger you men before you trigger us women. And I may need some coffee to calm myself down, because coffee calm me down. But if we won't get triggered, y'all gonna get triggered before we get triggered. And as of now, we're just reading this. We're just reading this. See, everybody get information from different sources, and they want to put the information from different sources compared to the. No, we're talking about this. We're talking about the Moynihan report. That's what I'm talking about right now. We ain't talking about other sources. We're talking about this. And if this did happen, why is it still happening in 2021? Ain't nobody coming to visit no woman house to see if no man is up in there. Ain't nobody kicking no man out the house. Who's doing that? Y'all never recovered from 1960? And we
Yeah, they
supposed to
ain't
be
got back
triggered?
in the house. They couldn't get back in the house since 1960.
I know, right? But James said we gonna get triggered. No, you gonna get triggered before we get triggered, because y'all men still laying up. Y'all men still laying up. Still laying up. When you go into certain parts of areas in any state, the head of the household is the woman. The head of the household is the woman. And y'all mad because y'all can't figure, oh, they was giving more women a job than the men. Basically that would not be right, because at that point in time, did you want to be a secretary? Did you want to make dresses? Did you want to sell perfume? What type of jobs were offered to women in the 1960s and the 70s that you guys wanted to do? No, they ain't no deeper with James. You're not the only one who is who got some brain cells. Okay. I don't like when people they think for some reason that I don't have brain cells, and they automatically think that they know more than me. I just do reporting on videos. I report, and I do commentary. That doesn't mean I wouldn't understand. That's not nice to say. That's not nice to say that I wouldn't understand. You don't know what I know. Hey, lovely Lisa, how you doing? It's just, don't assume people don't know. I'm not a baby. I'm not a baby, King James. It's deeper than that, and I'd be cursed with a genius IQ. You wouldn't understand. But what makes you think that I wouldn't understand? So your IQ is not genius, because you told me I wouldn't understand. You don't know that. But I do know what's going on now. Without even reading a book, I know what's going on now. Hey, Miss Apples. Hey, Toonie. Don't forget to hit that like as y'all come in. Please hit that like. Now let's carry on. Don't never underestimate anybody. Brain cells. Don't underestimate. No, I'm biased. You're not biased. There are loads of great black men. I never said there wasn't. There are loads of great black men. You have never heard me say black of all black men nothing. We just breaking down this Moynihan report right now. You ain't never, and no, I'm not biased. There, no, I'm biased. You're not biased. James, we know this. But let's finish with this. Let's finish with this. Remember, we only going back to this. This was written 50. This was written 56 years ago. This was written 56 years ago. We're just kindly seeing what changed over 56 years. That's all we're doing, James. We're not making it a science project. Ah, thank you, sweetie. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Lisa, Lisa. I'm calling her Lisa, Lisa. Lovely Lisa. That's all we're doing. Everything fails to obedience, James. Falls to obedience. Yeah, that's all we're doing. We simply going over something that was written 56 years ago. It's not a science project.
Report. Mind you, he's telling this woman to reference the Moynihan report, but he doesn't know what's in it. He does not know what is in the Moynihan report, although he's telling a woman that certain things are in it that's not in it. Let's go into the next thing that he says when he gets corrected. When he gets corrected, this is then what he comes with, the struggle bandit logic. So now a black woman has come and corrected him. It says, actually, that report said the increase of assistance happened because black men were leaving their families would go off. We literally just read that part where it said divorce, separation, and desertion of black men is what led to the increase on being on welfare. It didn't say anybody took them out the home. So let's hear what the struggle bandit has to say now.
So the report says black men were leaving the home, but since the 80s, the divorce rate in the black community have been filed by 80% of the women.
Gene.
So look, now he jumps into the 80s. So because she already dismantled his lie and said nobody took you out of the home, so now he did a 20-year jump. He jumped out of the 60s. He's not accounting for why black men were still leaving their home during the 60s, 70s, up through the 80s.
Gene is too funny. They went to go get that old Irish rose, whatever that cheap wine is. They went to go get that old Irish, or whatever you call that old wine. And let's take this time, guys. If you have not hit the like button, please take this time and hit that like if you didn't hit that like. And if you are new to the channel and you would like to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. Like right now, hit that subscribe button. And if you didn't hit that like, hit that like. I gladly appreciate it if like one person hit the like so we can get into double digits. It'd be very nice. Can we get one more like, please? Can we at least get one like? Can one person give us a like so we can move on? We just need one like, one like, please. We would like to move forward, but y'all got to support the channel with the likes. We need one like, just one. Can one person hit the like button, please? I will appreciate it. We just need one person. Hit the like. Just one person. Thank you. I appreciate that, number 10. Now let's go.
And now he's talking about marriage. So now he jumps to divorce.
Black men are leaving the home, even though the women are the one doing the majority of divorce filings.
And see, he's conflating two ideas. Let me just play it for you guys, and then I'll play it again, because he's conflating two different things, because he doesn't have the comprehension. He's on the Tyrone spectrum. Hopefully Angela will be up here to give you the profile of the Tyrone spectrum. Understand that he's on it from the pink bonnet to his sugary pooched out DSL lips. He's on the Tyrone spectrum.
That don't make goddamn sense if I'm honest with you.
Let's go.
So the report says black men were leaving the home, but since the 80s, the divorce rate in the black community have been filed by 80% of the women. But black men are leaving the home, even though the women are the one doing the majority of divorce filings. I don't know math with that. That don't make goddamn sense if I'm honest with you. I'm just confused.
He is confused because he's on the spectrum.
When y'all are the black women are the ones that have multiple kids by multiple black men, who are roughly 15 to 20% of the black man population, because 51% of black men are single and have no kids, and 30% are married. I don't know.
See, this is the false narrative that the Kitten and Hills is telling them that 51% of black men are single and childless. That is not true. 51% of black males between the ages of 18 and 24 So they're talking about a certain population of black men. 30% of black men are not married, 20% of black men are. So this is a kitten. This is a pink bonnet wearing sugar booty, I'm addicted to boys kitten. That's what this is.
I don't think you know how math works, but that leaves roughly 20% of men left. They're the ones that have all the kids and that aren't married. So I don't know what you're talking about.
And of course he doesn't know what she's talking about. We know that he doesn't know what she's talking about because he jumped to divorce, and the whole premise of the report is about desertion. Desertion and divorce are two separate things. A man can still provide for his children even when he is divorced. This is the same thing that Struggle Bandit called up and said. This is the same thing the Struggle Bandit said. Well, first of all, we shouldn't even talk about the divorce rate in terms of the breakup of the black family because black men are not even getting married. So most of the families who are broken up, it is not because of a divorce, because you're not even married.
And you can't compare black men and black women being married, because if it's 50% of black men that are married, then that means it's 50% of black women that are married. Who they married to? Themselves? That means if more black men are married than black women, but they still married to a woman, right? So you don't score no point. That don't give you no points. Sometimes it could just be because we outnumber you guys. Yeah, because we outnumber you, you can't compare. So if it's 50% more black men that's married, then it's 50% more black women that's married, or women that's married to these black men. They're not marrying themselves. I mean, they are, but we're talking about 60 years ago. This is over almost 60 years ago. Now let's go.
Have to get married to be divorced. So why are you bringing up some divorce statistics for a population of people who don't really get married? The majority of these homes are not married homes.
That's why the men had to leave.
Black men are going around creating children like they've been doing since the 1930s and not taking care of them. Furthermore, when we talk about those divorces, guess what was happening before black women were able to file for divorces? Because he's saying, oh, well, in the 80s, well, yeah, genius, they started filing divorces in the 80s because they weren't able to prior to then. Women were not able to initiate divorces, I think, until at least the late 70s. So why would you be talking about, oh, well, these divorces are initiated by women as if something happened during that time other than the fact that women were given the right? The only thing that changed is that women were given the right to file for divorces. But guess what? If black women were able to file for divorces in the 30s and in the 40s, do you think that the divorce rate wouldn't be just as high? It would be. Black women would have been divorcing black men if they had the legal right to do so, but they didn't. So now all we're doing is reflecting how poor of partners black men are. The divorce rate simply shows black men's inability to manage relationships. But why are we even talking about divorce when it comes to the breakup of the family? Y'all ain't married. Most of y'all ain't married. Most black men ain't married. Most black men have children. Contrary to what this struggle bandit is saying, most black men have children. Many of them have children by multiple women. Many of them can provide for their family, just like the Moynihan report said. Many of them are walking out of the home. Nothing's keeping them out of the home. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. But see, whenever you trap them up in a lie, because that dude hasn't read the Moynihan report. Most black men have not read the Moynihan report because most black men have slow comprehension and can't.
James, so what you're saying is that They don't love you. They just want your money. Are you trying to say white women and Indian women will give up their pretty boy muscle? So they don't love you. They just users. They just want your money. So in a sense, you make us look kind of good. You make us look kind of good that we ain't using nobody. Which that part is true, Tony. That is absolutely Harlem free. Hey. I mean Harlem, harem free. I thought I seen my Harlem there. So they're just users, and all of them got these men because they got money. But guess what? You ain't taking none of that with you when you go. You don't have to have a high IQ to figure that part out.
Read anyway. Most black men do not have actual reading ability. It just is what it is. They don't. Most black men have slow comprehension. They're not reading. So that black man, I can guarantee you, I can put money on it. He has not read the Moynihan report. He doesn't even know how to pronounce it. He doesn't even know how to pronounce the Moynihan report. Before black men were creating unmarried single mothers, they were creating married single mothers. They were just walking out of the home because they were so broke and dusty, they couldn't afford to actually file for divorce.
That's so what I said. Exactly. Exactly.
And yes, that 51% does include incarcerated black men. But if you don't even know how to pronounce a Moynihan report or comprehend it, then you also don't know how to comprehend statistics. And just because a struggle kitten sits up and spouts out statistics doesn't mean he understands how to interpret them. That kitten over there, Kevin Samuels, he don't know how to interpret statistical data. No, he doesn't. He's not smart. He's not smart. And that's why you'll have black. Do you guys remember when E. Dean Cole was over here and I asked him who was Kevin Samuels smart in comparison to? And he couldn't even tell you who he was smart in comparison to. The reason why black men think Kevin Samuels is smart is because they're dumb. That's why.
Oh,
black men think Kevin Samuels is smart is because they're dumb.
Oh,
nobody
Lord.
Outside of the black community literally puts any merit. You don't see men of no color or women of no color going around spouting out these statistics that Kevin Samuels put down there. They don't, because he's dumb and he's incorrect. The only people who actually watch Kevin Samuels is black people. Meanwhile, he's out there attention whoring as much as he can, trying to do everything to actually become mainstream. And he's not going to be mainstream. He's not, because he's dumb. He's dumb. DJ Vlad showed how dumb and remedial and cowardly this man is. That was a pussycat doll sitting up in front of DJ Vlad. That wasn't an alpha high value man. That was a little bloody bussy sitting there walking back on his own statements. Like, please, these dudes are the laughing stock of society. They're the laughing stock of society. It's not hard for a black man, no matter how dusty he is, to get a black woman to like him. Kevin Samuels getting some black women to like him. Who's surprised by that? Ain't nobody surprised by that. I'm certainly not surprised. The only people who really like black men are black women. Newsflash. Nobody else cares about or values black men except black women. If black men disappear right now, nobody would care except for black women. Nobody. They would simply replace black men with their biracial children, which is what they're doing now. They would simply take black men's biracial male children and make him the new face of black men and capitalize off of him like they're doing off of Drake, and nobody else would care except black women. The only people who would miss black men are black women. Nobody else. And that's why doing Jim Crow, when they were being strung up from trees, nobody cared. They simply sat around, they celebrated it, they laughed, they kikied, they threw events. Nobody cared except black women. Nobody cares about black men but black women. It just is what it is. And that's why they will manipulate black women into being these ride or dies for black men because ain't nobody else gonna do it. Ain't nobody fixing to advocate for black men. Ain't nobody about to sit up and go like stand on the front line for black men. Don't nobody care except black women. Nobody cares about black men but black women. It just is what it is. And that's why they're trying to keep black women caring. Because once black women stop caring, nobody will care about it. Nobody's even going to want them sexually once black women don't. Beige and Ingress too said, "Seeing you look great in your glasses. Beautiful. Don't be afraid you look bad in glasses." Well, thank you. These are just my light filtering glasses. But oh, what's going on? Hold on, because the light on my computer
Is
is
she
being
playing
weird.
that or are you playing that, Tony?
What?
Oh, hold on, you guys, because I think it might be because.
What happened, Queen?
Hold on, give me 1 second to plug in my laptop, and then
I was
I'm
hearing
going
some
to
nation
get
boy in
into
the
this
back.
report. Yeah, but nobody cares about black men but black women. They just don't. Nobody cares about black men at all.
DOD, both extremes are sick. You got the extreme men and the extreme women. Both sides are sick. But I still like to hear the extremes of both of them. I like to hear what she say. I like to hear what they say. Because they both just as sick. But as to this point, no lies has been detected. Now, no, I've seen many good guy high school, college get shot on for the drug dealers. Playboy, King Knowledge Ish, Pastor B, and Fall for the Jazz. I keep trying to tell you guys, James, y'all don't listen to me. It's not like they ish on you because of that. They pick bad boys because bad boys is what they know. It's not because they really want the good guy. But a lot of you good guys are undercover crazy. A lot of women, when they speak upon their Prince Charming, and he's the man of my life, and you know what, I thought, them are the guys so they know that the bad guy is going to cheat. They know these things about the bad guy. So it's an easier choice. They know he's going to cheat. They know he lazy. They know he a bum. They know he a dusty. But they know these things. So while you guys sitting up there thinking that, oh, they don't like me because no, a lot of you guys are undercover crazy. A lot of you guys are undercover narcs. A lot of you guys are covert narcissists. So they don't know where you stand. Majority of the stories you hear about men who cheat is the one in the suits. They got the women at the job. See, there's no difference. My point, listen, there's less adversary, so they get seduced. No, the men who you talking about, they cheat more. The men in the suits cheat more. Because ladies love to see a man in the suit. They like to see a man in the suit way better than they like to see a man with tattoos and stuff. Yeah, I try to tell you that is I'm a woman. Y'all can't argue with me. I'm telling you. At least they could look at that. They could look at men ain't no good. At least I already know he ain't no good. I already know. Unlike somebody who you thought was good, who you thought was gonna take care of you. Come to find out, oh baby, I'm working at the firm. I'm gonna be late. Here, late means with the secretary. Late means with the nurse. Late means somebody who work on the next floor. And the pastors, you thinking they so nice, and they covert nurses. See, they don't know what they getting themselves into. I hate to tell you that, but that's the reason why. But in all reality, women love smart men. That's why intellectual knowledge pays. If you don't believe me, why do you think they flock over these conscious creatures? They want men that smart. If what I'm saying is incorrect, why are these conscious creatures getting paid all of this money. If we don't like smart men, if we don't like intelligent men, and we don't like men that we think is about something, this prove me wrong. That's how they got that hotep hustle going on. Women flock to good men until they realize they're not. And their horror stories is worse than Pookie and Ray Ray horror stories. At least Pookie and Ray Ray ain't got that much money. No, no, stop in the ghetto. Girl, I'm trying to tell you, I'm a female. I'm trying to tell you what's going on, James. You're not listening. You're not listening. That's what you assume. I'm telling you that's not true. No, no. Stop. In the ghetto. The girls ain't been conditioned for that. The girls ain't been conditioned for that. They really was looking at the smart dude because they knew that the dumb dude will be pumping the smart dude gas. See, listen to what I'm saying. We knew you was smart. We knew you was gonna get a job. We just didn't know what type of person you are. We knew Pookie and Ray Ray was gonna be pumping your gas, but Pookie and Ray Ray ain't gonna get nowhere. So they figure I can keep Pookie or Ray Ray. I mean, I can't keep the smart guy because once he get his good job and everything, he's gonna leave me. He's going to leave me. I'm talking about the young girls, not when you get 40 and this. Listen, James, you're still not listening. I'm trying to tell you from a woman's point of view. I can't change a woman's point of view because I can't change it. I speak to women all the time.
DOD said drop the link. She want to come up.
I am, but that doesn't mean I have to drop the link because he said drop the link.
Oh, I don't know. So he better say his point. What you want to say, DOD?
That's my brother. He know I'm dropping the link. That's my brother. Come on up, bro. Is there? Is there? Is there? See, the men when the women tell them something, they don't want to believe us. Oh, I spoke to women. Yeah, women gonna tell you what they. I'm telling you the God honest truth. And I say that so young boys can never feel that they feel less than because you got these jocks, these sports jocks and stuff, and they think that no, they're gonna want you later in life. They just don't know if you're gonna want them. All right, bro, go ahead.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
What's going
bro.
on?
Hello.
Hello, sister. How you doing?
Wonderful.
Good, good. Now, what are we talking about here tonight, Sugar? You saying that the sisters want these Pookies and Ray Rays because of what?
I was saying they settle for the Pookie and Ray Ray because they know Pookie and Ray Ray ain't going nowhere in life. But they know
So
that
wait a
these
minute there.
smart in time.
So you're saying that black women, I think you're selling black women short,
No,
or
no,
these young
no,
black women,
no.
these young
But what
black
I'm
girls short,
saying is
because
they
you're
know.
saying,
No, no, no. Let me finish, then you could go. They know what they're getting. What a lot of time, a lot of these men, from the horror stories that I have heard and from us having girl talk, you don't know what you're getting with these men in these suits. Because all the horror stories that you hear is, oh, he was such a nice guy. Oh, he was well dressed. And them the ones that was either like really abusive, them the ones who use the intelligence to manipulate you. It's more horror stories with men that you think that smart and intelligent and going to be something. And then some of them, when they get them good jobs, they become very arrogant. So with Pookie and Ray Ray, and then on top of, they know until they mature themselves, they know what Pookie and Ray Ray is about. Like I'm used to this. I don't know what I'm gonna get out of this because a lot of them, that's like back in the days. People used to tell you they used to like doctors, but they didn't want to marry a doctor. They said because I don't know. We get into an argument. It was a joke though, but I don't know, we get into an argument, they may give me some type special type of medicine or put some medicine in my food or something. But people go with what they're familiar with. That's the point that I'm saying. They're familiar with the Pookie and Ray Rays. They're not familiar with the higher God. Nothing to do about lowering their standards. Just the point is that the horror stories that we heard from people who dated, like the cheating stories, and them having them. They're just as bad as Pookie and Ray Ray. That's the point. They're not no better than Pookie and Ray Ray because they got more money in their pocket. A lot of
So
them is
you,
more. Hmm?
so sister, you're saying that black women
Hmm.
that they are lowering their standards. You can say
No,
they're not.
because they got money. That doesn't make them better.
No, 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 no. See, I didn't say nothing about money. I said
No,
lowering standard.
no, they
Standard
didn't
has
lower
nothing
their
to do with
standards.
money. Standard has nothing to do with money.
Okay, so
Because- So what
what?
I'm saying is, you saying these sisters lowered their standard because of their fear that they might get a doctor or a lawyer
No,
or
no, no, no,
business.
no. I was using a different example. I'm saying they know
Okay,
what they're
are you
getting.
gonna let me finish?
All right, go ahead, bro.
Okay.
But
You
use the
saying
first example.
okay. You're saying that these sisters are lowering their standards to get what they Pookie or a Ray Ray because they fear that a doctor or a lawyer or a businessman might cheat on them, might cheat
I
on them.
said the
Let me
horror
okay, let me
stories,
finish.
not might.
Okay. So these sisters fear that they might get cheated on by these businessmen, these lawyers, these doctors. They might get cheated on. They fear that, but they know the Pookie and Ray Rays are going to do it.
What I'm saying is
Make
that
that make sense.
no, I'm speaking upon the horror stories of the abuse, being a covert narcissist, using their intellectual things to manipulate, which they do.
Okay, but we know the Pookie and Ray Ray is going to do that, though, right? They know that, right?
They know it both ways, but a lot of them are very abusive. But with
What
Pookie
I
and Ray
believe
Ray,
it is,
but
what
at
I
least
believe it is that
yeah,
these
but see
sisters
the
don't
mask,
want
but at
to
least
raise
for Pookie and
sugar.
Ray
Hold
Ray
on a
don't
second.
have the mask on. The other
Right.
guys walking around with the mask.
Right. So you can see the guy that you know is no good. That's gonna cheat on you and beat
But
you
he
and
may not
come
neither.
see you
But
whenever he's just ready to
no, but you assuming
leave you with all kind of children. You know you
no,
can
no, no, no,
see
no,
him
no. You
coming,
assuming that the
and
same way.
so you're gonna accept him. You can see him
No,
coming a
no,
mile away, and you're
no.
gonna accept that. But this other dude over here, you
I don't
don't know
accept
he
it.
might do
But
that.
you assuming the
You don't
same
know that he
way.
may do that, but you're gonna go to the dude that you know gonna do it. Is
No,
that
you
what
don't know Pookie and Ray Ray gonna do it. It's both. Either way can go either way. You don't know Pookie and Ray Ray is definitely going to cheat. The same way you can't say this one is definitely not going to cheat.
Okay, what I believe it is,
You just
sugar.
can't judge a book by its cover. That's what I'm saying is we don't know. You can't say all Pookie and Ray Rays cheat.
Right?
But we're just familiar with the Pookies and Ray Rays. But that doesn't mean they're going to cheat. Not
I
every.
think
Now you try. That's not. It's that's like saying everybody in the hood, every man cheat in the hood. No.
I believe what it is, sugar, is that these sisters don't want to raise their own
Hmm?
level up. They would rather stay with these Pookies and Ray Rays so they don't have to level up, so that they don't have to become more than just a girlfriend or a wife to a Pookie and Ray Ray.
But what? Okay.
If you get what the doctor, there is no way a doctor is going to go into the hood and pick a woman out from the hood that
Them men
hasn't
are
been
even
groomed,
worse.
hasn't been
Please.
seasoned, hasn't been. You know what I'm saying? She has to reach a certain level to get with a certain level of man. And these women, a lot of these young women in the hood just don't want to do that. They'll just like you said, they'll just be with a Pookie and Ray
No, I
Ray.
disagree. I disagree. And we're referring to when Jane, what I was referring to was not them as being older. He was speaking upon when he was younger and they chose the muscle men or whatever over them. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with the smarter guys. It's just that they know what they're getting themselves involved with these men. But as a James was referring to them being young. You're referring to them being grown and adults. I was referring to when he was talking about
No, I'm
them
preferring
in their
them.
younger age. So
I
in
am
them in
too. Because see, this is
well,
what
they're not
happens.
going to be
This
no
is what happens
doctor in junior high
when
school
they're right.
and high school. I
But
was
you know the ones that are heading that way in high school and in in high
yeah,
school and
but
in
for
college,
me,
and that's why those sisters don't mess with them guys
that's not
because
true.
they're gonna have to
No, but
level up themselves to get with
leveled
that
up
dude
to get
because
abused,
he's not the
leveled up for
cool guy.
abuse,
He's not the guy with the
but get
swag. He
leveled up
doesn't
for
have the cool
abuse. Oh,
car
no,
and
I
all
think
that.
I don't agree. I don't agree that somebody should have to level up to be abused. I don't believe that somebody
No,
has to.
see,
They
okay,
abuse.
again,
They whip women behinds too. Come on,
sugar,
let's
we
not
going,
go
we
there.
can keep. Okay, now
Let's
you
not go
saying,
there.
but so what you're saying is that so you flipping it and saying that all of these brothers who become doctors and lawyers are abusive,
I didn't
mentally
say all,
abusive,
but
or
I'm
physically
saying that
abusive.
I'm just saying, far as
I would
far as
rather have my
character.
daughter. I would rather have my daughter take a chance on a dude going to become a
Now,
doctor. There's some
I
fool standing on the corner. I know that.
what?
I know
Okay,
that. I would
I
rather
would
have
want
my
my
daughter date. I
child.
would rather
I would
have my daughter dating a medical student than this fool over here standing on the corner. I would rather have her take that risk than this dude over here on the corner. I know that.
I would rather my child take her time to make sure that he's the right guy. I
Of
would
course, you
rather
have
my
to
child.
bet.
I would
You
rather
have to
my
bet.
child. I would rather. Yeah, we would like for a man to have stability. Yes, we would.
Of
But we
course.
don't still know Pookie and Ray Ray. That don't mean they're gonna stay on the corner forever. They might will mature.
Well,
We was
they
talking about
might.
but
They might.
you're
But their
talking
brother
about
that's going
mature.
to become a medical
Nah, but
doctor, he's
some of these
already
men,
mature.
I'm just
But the
saying,
thing of it is, you can work on Pookie and Ray Ray, and you can get them to be on your side and be on your team. One of those other guys, they're going to, feel like, oh, you shouldn't be up here with me. But with Pookie and Ray Ray, they'll raise up with you.
No.
But
Well, yeah, because they have nowhere to go but to raise up
no,
for the
but
ones that
but
want to.
I'm
But
speaking.
the doctors and the lawyers and the businessmen, they're already up there, and
yeah,
and a
They
lot of
up there,
sisters
but what does it mean that they no good? But what does it
don't
mean?
want to raise their status up
But
to
what?
get to
No, it's
those
not
levels.
about status. We're talking about no good men. You talking about status. We're talking about two different things. We're on two
No,
different subjects.
no, right?
I'm
What?
speaking.
Okay, but
I'm
sugar,
speaking upon a no
there's
good
no good
man.
men. There's
A
no good
no
men in
good
every
man is
wait,
a
let me
no
profession.
finish,
good man.
Tony.
Sugar, there's no good men in every profession. I mean, if
That's all
that's the
I was
case,
saying.
well, if that's the case, then you must would pull a Cynthia G and just say don't have black men then, or
No, I
don't
would
pick
never say
black
that.
men then.
You would
If
never.
that's the
Don't tell
case,
me to do that. I'm
no,
just
but I'm
saying.
saying you might
I'm
as
saying
well,
it's no good men in all categories.
of
That's all
course.
I'm saying.
But
I'm not. And then,
I would rather have my daughter take a chance on a doctor and a lawyer being no good
not if her
than a
life
fool
is in
standing on the
stake.
corner.
Not if her life is in
Well,
stake.
his
I
life is
will.
gonna be stuck with the fool on the corner too.
Well,
If that's the
hey.
case. In fact,
Well,
it may be
I don't.
even in more danger with the fool standing on the corner because he's out there doing all kind of wrong. And when if she's in the wrong
But
place,
them men
when
do it
he's
too.
there, she can get
Let
caught
me
up.
tell
She can
you.
get caught up.
Let me tell you. I don't. That's why a lot of people get scammed too, and because they believe because they're a doctor or something like that, and that don't mean they take care of their women either. Some of them,
I didn't say that, but I would
some
rather
of
have
them
my daughter
hold.
take a chance on him
Yeah,
than
but
to do
what if
standing
that?
on the corner.
Yeah, but that don't mean he's giving her his money.
He
He
don't
could.
have to give her his money.
Some
Why he
men
have to
hold
give
that
her his
financial.
money?
Some men hold that financially bondage against them. Make sure they don't even give them no money and just give them. They don't even give them a line. They give them when they want to give them. It
Well,
depends on the man.
Pookie
If
and
he
Ray do the same thing, right?
so, but I'm saying it can happen either
It
way.
happens.
It
Women, look,
happens either
women out
way.
there
it's
at the sound,
either Pookie
to
and
the
Ray Ray.
sound of
If
my
you put
voice, young
Pookie and
women
Ray
out
Ray,
there,
well,
young
see,
women,
the
at the
one thing
sound of my
about it,
voice out there, what you need to do is vet these foods. Stop laying in the bed with them as soon as you meet them. Stop opening your legs. Sit down and have conversations with these men. I don't care if they're going in college, if they're sitting on the corner, whatever, wherever you meet a man at, and same with the fellas. Sit down and have conversations with these women. Stop
Um,
rushing to getting in the bed and having babies and then complaining about it on both sides. The women, oh, he ain't no good. This motherfucker left me with a child. Well, you know he was no good when you laid down with him.
No, we did
And then the
not.
brothers
No, you did
complaining,
not.
talking
No,
about,
you did
oh,
not.
I'm on child support. She put me on child support. Why she put me on child support? Motherfucker, because you're not taking care of your child. That's why
But
she
that's
put
what
me on
my
child support.
point was.
So stop
That
crying about it.
my point was, we went off totally off the point. My point was for the people that's who is like a nerd or something. Don't never think lower of yourself because you think they're picking the Pookie and Ray Rays. They're just
That's right.
familiar with the Pookies and the Ray Rays.
And that's a shame.
And,
And
and,
in my
but
opinion,
can I
that's
finish?
a shame.
It's a terrible shame, but I still have to let them know they are important, and don't feel bad about yourself because they are familiar with them. But it's not like don't go around thinking like, oh,
Sisters,
and the same thing, and the
sisters,
same, huh?
level up, sisters. Stop
What do you mean by
settling.
level up? What is your
Stop
meaning of
settling.
level up? What is
My,
your meaning?
my meaning of leveling up is stop messing with these Pookies and Ray Rays. Go find you a man that's about something. Go find a man that will want to marry you first before pumping and dumping. Find a
They don't
man that
pump
wants
and
to
dump.
marry you and start a family with you. That's
Find the
what you
right
want to
man.
do.
My thing is find the right man for you, or find the right woman for you. I don't see that as in levering up. If Pookie and Ray Ray is for you, then Pookie and Ray Ray is for you. Some of them live happy
And
ever
if you get with
after.
the Pookie and Ray Ray, and you're not vetting
Because
Pookie and Ray Rays, and he leaves you with
but you,
babies
okay,
or
but listen to me.
whatever,
But
then
it's
stop complaining about it.
but it's educated, and people who got money, they still Pookie and Ray Rays too. They just have a
That's
suit on.
why you get
They still have a
married
suit on.
first. That's why you get married first.
No, you get to know them first. You said it right the first
Well,
time,
yes, of
DB.
course,
You
of
said it
course.
right the first
Come
time.
on now. Of
You
course,
said
you have
it
to
right
get
the
to.
first
I
time.
think you have to vet them. You have to get to know them first. Put a
Listen,
ring on it.
I
Get
seen a
married,
lot of
and
them.
then start a family.
I seen a lot of these men with masks. They got where they got the big old mask on their face. The next,
Everybody has masks on when you first get
exactly.
to know. That's why you have to sit around and vet. That's why you have to get to
But
know a person.
but when you're young, I'm saying that's just what they think. They're around the way. They know their mama. They
There
know
you
their father. They know
there
their
you go.
family.
Around the way, girl.
But hey, but they're young. They where they supposed to branch out. They're young. That's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
they're supposed
They
to
know
branch out.
they know their mothers. They know their fathers. They know their family. They grow up together. They just happen to be Pookie. But that doesn't. That's not going to project their whole life. That doesn't mean they're not educated. That doesn't mean they don't like smart people. They do like smart people because
Then find one then.
if they did
Then get
not
with
like,
one
if they
then.
didn't like smart
Then get
people,
with
we wouldn't
one.
huh?
Then get with one. If you like smart men, then get with one.
But that doesn't mean Pookie and Ray Ray is not smart.
No, I
Pookie
didn't
and
say
Ray
that.
Ray just
No.
haven't found their way yet. It's not our job for them
Right.
to
So
find
get
their
with the
way.
one that's
But
young,
but
that is smart and has found his way.
while Pookie and Ray Ray go for working men and the regular. When I say Pookie and Ray Ray, I don't just mean men on a corner. What I'm just saying is
But
Pookie and Ray
when I
Ray's
say Pookie
everywhere.
Ray, that's
It's
what I mean.
well,
I
that's
mean the
not
dudes
what
that
I
stand on the
mean.
corner
I
doing that. Because
mean no,
even a 9 to 5 dude ain't no
I'm
Pookie and
not
Ray.
speaking upon that. I'm not speaking upon thugs. Speak upon
Yeah, but
Pookie and Ray
a
Ray.
9 to 5 dude ain't no Pookie and Ray. Unless of course,
No, a
oh,
nine to
unless
five
he has
dude.
a job,
They
and
are
then when
Pookie
he
and
gets
Ray
off work, he
Rays.
goes to the
They
corner.
Pookie and Ray Rays too. They just as bad as Pookie and Ray Ray too. The same way when you see these girls all made up and you think she leveled up and you think she's so good and come to find out she ain't ish neither. It go both ways. I keep it equal
Well,
opportunity.
of course,
I keep
I've
it
said that
equal
since I became.
opportunity.
I've
You
said this
got
since I
plenty
was
of
ugly.
women that you think is about who you thought was about something, who you thought was intelligent, who you thought was going to then come to find out that was all a mirage.
Of course,
That go both ways. And I
of
don't,
course, I
okay, we
said
get
that.
Pookie and Ray Ray in there. What do we call them girls? Just
I call them round the way girl.
we
That's what
got
I call
the runaway girls is just not the ones you seeing acting old. Them the ones you seeing uh, um um and
I call
acting.
the round the way girls the one that are pushing the strollers
Well, I'm
um
not talking
and
about
with
them.
the
I'm
swollen
talking about
bellies. That's what I
but
call.
yeah, I'm not talking about them, girl. I'm talking about the ones who you the same way we thought that these educated Pookie and Ray Ray, but you got educated roundaway girls too. Oh, I ain't got no kids, and
I
I'm
don't
about
know
my
about that.
books, and I'm about my money. And then could you get to be with them women? Time to find out they ain't ish neither. That goes for both
Yes,
sexes. That goes for
I agree.
both sexes.
I
So
agree.
people could say they could level up, but you can always level up, but you don't never know what you're gonna get. You may assume what you're gonna get, and you can hope you pick the right
Well,
person,
if
but you
you
ain't
vet,
guaranteed.
if
You're
you
not
vet,
guaranteed nothing in life. You ain't
like, but
guaranteed
if you
nothing.
vet a person, your chances are better than just laying down with somebody you just met.
You don't. No, I'm not talking about sleeping on what you just met. I'm talking about when people just pick people. I always go take. You never hear me always sing that song, no, because you don't come on my channel a lot. I said
I do. Yes, I do.
my
Stop that,
favorite
Tony.
song
Stop.
is by Percy Sledge. Take time to know her. It's not an overnight thing. I
You're gonna
always
try to
say,
accuse me of not coming over here.
hmm.
I'm over here tonight. You didn't even know I was here. So I told you to drop the link.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you, bro.
oh,
But I'm just saying that you will always hear me sing that song. Take time to know her. You got to slow down and really get to meet people, and you got to be around them long enough for the mask to come off.
right. Exactly. That's what I've been saying.
That's why I said when I speak upon Pookie and Ray Rays, I'm not just speaking upon men on the
But
corner.
if you,
I'm speaking
but
upon
also too,
Pookie and Ray
Tony,
Rays. Period. That means
But you said
ninjas,
that you know a Pookie
ninjas.
and Ray Ray when they come. You can see a Pookie and Ray Ray.
Even if
So if
he in
you
the
put
suit,
yourself in
yeah.
that right, no,
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 but
no.
he could have on
But
a
if you put
suit
this,
too. I could spot a Pookie. I remember Pookie
that's
and
what I'm
Ray Ray
saying. So why
meet
would you
men.
put yourself in just? Why would you put yourself in a situation
I
when
ain't
you
putting myself
know?
in nothing. I'm
I'm
just
not
telling
saying you. I'm not
females.
saying you personally, Tony. I'm just
Oh,
saying why would a woman put herself in a situation when she know
because
the dude
they
is no
don't
good?
they don't know. All they see is the suit and the man ain't a good job. They don't
No,
know
no, I'm
he
not talking
ain't
about the
ish.
dude in the suit,
I'm
Tony. I'm not
talking
talking
about
about.
the men in the suit and stuff that you think that they are not
And I'm
Pookie
talking
and
about
Ray
the
Ray.
ones that are obviously ain't no
Well,
good.
well, but they still equal the same thing. So obviously and not obviously they still ain't ish.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
They
I
still
would rather
ain't
take my
ish.
chances. I would have my daughter take the chance on the dude with the suit. I mean, vetting him, getting to know him, and marrying him.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what I'm saying. I would
That's
rather
all.
my daughter take a chance on that than the Pookie Raiders standing on the
That,
corner. That's all I'm saying.
no, that's men sitting on a corner. Remember, my definition of Pookie and Ray Ray is men that's not ish. Period.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
A
Okay.
wolf's in sheep clothing. Thank you, lovely Lisa B. I'm talking about the men and that come in sheep clothing. Same thing. That's what I
Well,
mean. Men,
I would like to ask the sister that's on the panel with us. What does she think,
you gotta go, boss lady.
boss lady?
Don't be yelling at me, lady.
What's up, boss lady? How you doing, sis? What do you think about this? I'm curious to know because you're
Well,
so quiet and so
yeah,
so
because
Oh, she ain't
I be
quiet.
listening.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you be so reserved.
So now she's speaking as a whole of, you know, like the whole neighborhood or the whole generation, right, Tony?
I'm talking about men who ain't
But no,
ish.
boss lady,
I
Regardless
I
of
know,
what
want
they
to
but
got
know.
on.
Boss lady, I want to know how you feel. I want you to explain to me how Tony feel.
okay,
I want you to tell me how
okay. No,
you
I was
feel.
just trying to take both of you guys' points and put, get to my own point. Okay, the thing of it is, I feel like, man, I would rather take a chance on getting to know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd get me a Pookie and a Ray Ray.
See,
Uh
see
huh.
what I'm saying? There we
Yo, I
go.
would.
And
I'd
this is
get me
from
a
and
Pookie
this is
and a
from an
Ray
older
Ray.
lady.
I'd get me a Pookie and a Ray Ray, and I'd have both one. Each of them doing they part
See,
until I can get to Mister Suit guy over here. In the meantime, Pookie and Ray Ray gonna work it out with me. One gonna pay
see,
this and one gonna do that. Uh huh.
right?
Sure is.
But when he leaves you effed up, you can't
Who?
complain then.
Who? Pookie and Ray Ray?
Right.
But so do the
I'm not
other
worried
men.
about. I already know they're gonna do that. I ain't worried about
That's
that.
what I'm saying. See? That's what I'm saying. Tony, she understands that dude is gonna mess her up, but she still would go that route rather
But
than wait and get the dude that she really wanna get.
But they
She
gonna
don't
mess
want
up
to wait.
too. Ain't
She want
nobody
the Pookie and
perfect.
Ray Ray, even though she know he gonna mess her over.
But some
Because
She
it,
well,
know
see,
it,
well, the
but
thing
some
of
you're
the
but she
way
not
I was
still gonna
raised,
go that
you're
route.
not
the way I was
guaranteed he gonna
raised
mess you
is
up.
the way I was raised from a
She
young girl
said
from
it.
my
She said she
grandmother.
know he gonna
My
do it.
grandmother taught me, love the one that loves you. Go with the one that do for you. So that's how I was raised. I wasn't raised to settle for anything. I
So she told you this is what your grandma must have told you then. She must have told you to go with the one you with until you get the one you want.
no, no,
Because that's what you just said.
no.
You said you're gonna mess with
She
Pookie and Ray
said
She
Ray
said
until you
love
can
the
get the
one
guy
that
with the
love
suit.
she
you.
I
No, she
said
said
that.
I'm gonna mess
I
with the
that was
Pookie and Ray
my that
Ray
no,
until I
that
get
was
the guy with
me.
the suit.
That was
That's
me.
what she said.
That was me, my 2 cents. But my
Right.
grandmother didn't tell me that. My grandma said, love the man that does for you and loves you and comes for is there for you. Don't go for the one that you like him and he no, go for the
Wait. So you
Was
don't want to go with the guy
okay.
that
Well, hold on.
you like. You want to go with the guy that
Well,
like
hold on.
you.
Let
right.
now the man I speak for myself because I
Oh,
like me. You got number one. I have I have a list, right? And I have certain qualifications. I have boundaries. I that's just me. But when I speak, I just speak in general. I don't speak for myself. So please don't let nobody think that I'm speaking of my life and
Right.
speaking personal about me. I was just saying that is one of the
we're talking
reasons
about the young women.
why
Right.
some women, I'm not saying it makes it right or make it wrong. I'm just saying this is some reasons why some women get some of them men that ain't ish, that they can tell that ain't ish because some of them don't want to be surprised. Like, damn, I thought you was good because that hurts more. Let me finish. That hurts more when you thought that he was a good guy and come to find out he ain't ish. So you take a chance now. Any man you be with, take a chance. But I was just answering a question that James said. That is not my life. That's not what I do. It's just a general question he said, and I gave a general answer.
Okay, but yeah, but like I said, both men and women need to slow down, get to know each other before just getting
Take
in the business.
time to know her.
There you go.
Please don't rush into these things. Hey, number one grinder.
That's
What's
good,
up,
John
man?
Eastfield. Long
Hey,
time.
boo.
Thank you. Yo,
No, but
thanks for having me. What's going on, brother DOG?
all
You
right,
know,
man. What's going
and
on?
other young lady, how you doing? I don't know you, but
I'm doing great.
Boss,
I'm
boss
boss
lady.
lady.
Boss
That
lady.
oh, boy,
number
what's up,
one
boss lady?
grinder.
Finally, boss lady, finally.
The
All
number
right.
one
What's
grinder.
good? What's good?
No, but I would just like I said, I was answering a general question, a general question. Cause me, I'm for. I swing both ways. I'm not on the woman's side. I'm not on the man's side. I don't do debates because debates gets me nowhere, and having a pissing contest doesn't get me nowhere neither. It's just that I listen to the extreme men, I listen to the extreme women. But old as I am, I don't take none of their advice. None,
Well,
absolutely none. Because
yeah.
at my age, I at this point, I want somebody who we want each other at my age. We want somebody just for love. Because at this point, we're in another stage of our lives.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree.
In fact, if
Well,
you 50 and 55 and over, you're in another whole stage. You almost to your last performance. So you better be looking for
not
love.
me. Not me.
Well,
I'm
that's
good.
whoever. I'm
I'm
looking
good.
for love. I'm
No,
looking
I'm
for
looking for
love.
love too, but no, I mean cut you. I wait. I wait. I wait.
No, I'm finished. I was just saying I'm looking for love.
Well, I feel like this though. Right? When it comes down to it, it's all about right or wrong, and I think that's the problem. We know some people, and I'm talking about men and women that knew that they know we know they do some fucked up shit.
Yep.
Keep it real, but
Hmm.
Hmm.
we don't want to say nothing about it because of family member. We don't want to say nothing about it because they friends, and they want because we don't because we don't want to hold them accountable. Forget all that. Like I'm with DOG, hold both accountable. Listen, I'm not yo.
Okay, but
Listen,
what does accountable mean?
for me, if a person do wrong, You call it
Uh,
out, no
All
matter,
right.
no
So
matter
after
what.
you call, okay, after you call them out, then what?
Then if this is what I'm saying, if they not willing to listen to you, especially if you give your
Are
life
they
to
supposed to?
them, huh?
Are they supposed to? I mean,
It's
are
up
you?
to them, but it's up
But
to them.
who?
But
But
see, but no, 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 let me finish. Let me finish.
who's the accountability held for? You call who gives anybody the right to call somebody
No,
out? I
but
just
all right, all right. So all right. So this is what I'm saying. All right, all right. I see what you're going through, and I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna answer it very loud and clear.
not loud.
If I see a friend that I know is doing wrong, and especially I'm in that situation, I got myself out. If I don't tell you that you're doing
Right.
wrong, and I'm
Right.
giving you points to
Right.
help yourself,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm leaving like that, that means I ain't no friend.
No, but you saying holding people accountable. I'm like, and if who are
If
they?
they do wrong stuff, you gotta call it out. So that
All
means
right,
that
but
it's so,
if they don't do it, then what? If they're doing it to
if they
you,
don't
they
do it,
do it
that's
to
on
Republican,
somebody
them.
else. I
All
mean,
right, all right. So this is what I'm
Republican.
saying. If they don't do it, they don't. If they don't do it, they don't do it. So that means that we don't say nothing, then, right?
I never said that. I'm saying
I'm
if they
just I'm
don't do
putting it
what you
out there.
said. No, but I said, remember, I said if they don't do what you said. So that means you had
No,
to
it's
say
not
something.
doing what I'm saying. If I'm come with a genuine heart, if I come with a genuine constructive heart, that I care for you and I see potential in you, but you into some situations that you don't even
But
see
you're speaking
because
upon accountability, which means they did it already, right? It's
or they
done.
or they or they or
It's
they
done.
ready or they ready to. It could be either way.
No, accountability means something they have done already.
Or it could be something that they get ready to do.
No, they
They get
can't
ready
be
to
getting
fall.
ready to be doing something to be held accountable for it.
Why it
It had
can't?
to be done already. What does
Why it
accountability mean?
can't?
Okay, what does the word accountability means?
For me, accountability means that whoever did anything that
Did. That's the main word right there.
okay
Did.
did okay. Well, it just for me in my life. Let me tell you, it's for me in my life, right? If I care for somebody, if I know they move in this certain path that I know that's gonna lead destruction, I'm gonna say something about it. Now it's up to you to say
Right,
it, right?
right,
But if you
right,
doing it and you keep on doing it,
right.
that's on you. But that's what I'm saying that if we gonna talk about being accountable, it has to be a broad it has to be broadened out a little bit because
Okay, broaden to who? If I did
to
something to,
anybody,
so if somebody do something, they did it to the broad, or they did it to a person, or they did it to themselves. So who is the
it could
abroad?
be all right,
Who is
it
the
could, right.
abroad they accountable to? They didn't do
It
anything
could be
to you,
anybody. It could be
but
any
they
of
didn't
the
do
above.
anything to anybody.
It could be any it could
They
be
either did it
anything.
to themselves or they did it to a person. So who is the abroad?
I'm saying it could be any. I heard. It could be any of above. Like I said,
No, you said it has to be abroad. I'm trying to figure out who is the abroad.
yeah, I said all. I said what you just mentioned. It could be any of them. It could be in
But if
any
I did
situation.
something to you and I'm going to hold myself accountable, it's going to be to you, not to the abroad. I didn't do anything to the abroad. I did it to you.
Yeah, but I'm saying that if you, this is what I'm saying. There are certain situations that things do happen, and
Okay,
then
what are that? What are
you be
they?
around. And right, don't hear me out. And there are people that you be in a certain group, and they do the same thing. So I'm saying, like, as
But
me
you have
as
to
a
tell me
human,
what you are talking about so we can understand, Grinder.
I thought I explained.
What is being done? You said certain
Because you,
things.
yeah, you have to put a circumstance to it.
All
What
right,
Right.
all right. All right. I'm gonna put in circumstances. Right, my godsons and my goddaughters. Right, they went to this party. It's true facts. This is where I live in New York. This was young at the time. So they know it was weed, all bad stuff. I ain't gonna say weed. It was bad stuff happening in the park. And I said, don't go to that party because I know what people that I'm dealing with, that you dealing with. I know, because I knew the parents and them and all like that. And they even tell me, right? Now I'm telling you in the group, look, whatever happens, you're gonna get in a certain situation that you cannot get out of it. Now it's up to them to accept it or not to accept it. But I'm genuinely looking out for you because you dealing with. I say y'all are dealing with bad people. You know what happened? Oh, I don't that really doesn't care. You know what happened? It was a drug bust, and you know what happened? They got caught up. But the one good thing about it was somebody that I used to go to high school with. He became detective, and he got him out of that trouble. He said, "Listen, you cannot be a part of that."
All
Now
right.
I let,
So
but
you
I
said,
let
but
him know.
he's accountable to who? But who's the abroad he's accountable to?
I'm talking about the group. I'm talking about my God kids. I'm talking my God kids. I
Okay,
told
so
them, I said,
they were been accountable to you because you told them not to go.
Right, but not abroad.
okay, I digress. Okay.
We all have to fix ourselves, and I think holding. Well, my meaning is holding, being accountable for your actions and fixing
Of
your
course.
and what you do to yourself and what you do to people. But not, I don't owe that to the whole abroad because I didn't do anything to the whole abroad. Like, you have to fix yourself
Of course.
and
Of course.
change
That's life.
right, and change your ways.
Of
Now,
course.
now I get what you're saying. If you see the ways, you're going to point them out. If you care about somebody, that I totally agree with, because you're not going to stand by and say, "Hey, there's a fire there." But if you want to walk into it, go right ahead. You're going to say, "Hey, there's a fire there. I advise you, don't go
Okay.
there." So I agree with you. I totally
Okay.
agree. We in agreement here. We in agreement. I just wanted to be sure, so when people listen to us talking, they're getting exactly what we're saying, and we're not speaking in circles. So we in agreement. We in agreement here. So DOD, anything you would like to add?
I mean, well, yeah, just like JT said, it's all about accountability. It's all about self-respect. Like I said, if you meeting men, women, both, you guys got to vet each other. You got to get to know each other and hold each other accountable for what you do, for what's going on in your community. Because if you don't hold each other accountable, if you don't speak out when wrong is being done, it continues.
Okay, so let's get back to the young men and the young women. So if you meet a man in whether the Pookie Ray way, either way, and you tell them up front, this is my expectation, this is what I want out of the relationship, so on and so forth, and then things go bad or they don't live up to those expectations, you can't go out and blame it on all men because
Right.
this person didn't, you know,
Or
because
all
they let you that person let you down.
exactly. I agree.
Okay. Okay, so we got it.
Well, no.
But anyway, before we even got to this conversation, how you doing, Grinder?
Y'all been grinding.
I know
That's
you
what I be
have.
doing.
You the number one, Grinder.
I be grinding. I be grinding. I be stepping on people's necks.
That's right.
Not playing. They think it's a game. It's not a game out there to me.
Oh yes, I be in his chats, but remember I lost this chat for 4 months, and
Mhm.
some people they didn't come look for me over to my new channel. I
I
didn't.
think.
You no, you found me towards the end.
Mhm.
You found me towards the end because I know you would have visited me, but you found me towards the end, and I kept saying because a daggone freaking Ashanti song was playing, and I'm like, they didn't even give me a regular copyright. They struck the page. I said, "Damn."
Mhm.
So that's why I had to create a whole new page. So
Okay.
Right. So this is why y'all see. So if you was thinking at any point in time, well, DOD knew already. DOD was he came and visited me
No,
and
I
told me.
don't. I don't think that at all. I
No, but
think yes,
I
he
just let
did.
I listen. I'm just letting you know. Cause probably like, well, where the heck is she? I thought it was cool, but I didn't have no page. And if you would have looked, I didn't have no page. If you would have looked, was no video, was no nothing. But
Yeah, she did bring you up a couple of times.
yeah, but I don't think you would know. Maybe DOD. I did lost my brother August 18th, my second oldest brother.
Oh,
oh my
God
goodness,
bless.
So I've been like whole like certain times I don't want to do no live. I don't do it. You know,
Yeah, you
that
gotta
was a
take
hard.
time for yourself.
now
Yeah.
what would
So
you think? What would you think like would be like? Because people always saying level up, right? And I think
uh,
that's disrespectful. I think it's when you're young, yeah, you got to be leveled up. But I think when you
mhm.
get a certain age, everybody's saying their condolences, JT.
I
But
appreciate that. Thank you very much. I pass it out to the family wherever I talk to them. That's
right,
another that's another story. I ain't
right. So, but a lot of people don't understand when you get a certain age, like it's not, it's okay to like regular men. Some men because of, and I always find myself taking up for the man. Isn't that something? Don't I always end up doing that? But
Mhm.
sometimes women need, sometimes they need women to cushion it out. You know,
but we don't get see this is the problem. See, this is the problem in DOG. You know what I'm saying? DOD, you understand? It's not enough women that when that take up for men constructively. It's always. I'm not saying you,
I know.
but it's like they say something, but also, oh, yo, girl, you know, and then they go backwards.
But
Nah,
that's
you still
okay. But that's okay. And I can't. That's okay. It's like I'm not waiting for men to sit up there and take up for me all day neither. You know,
no, no, of course
I
not.
really could care. But what I'm saying is, I think sometimes men who started out working and being a good man, certain circumstances happen to whereas maybe they can't work no more,
Yeah,
maybe they're going through something, maybe they, I hate to say it, maybe they got diabetes that's not is, you know,
and also that
health, maybe their
they
health changed or they got hurt at the job. I don't think that
yeah,
them
sometimes
men,
they get out the job and then they
right, and
become different. Yeah.
some of them get overlooked because now we got these new high value men, and I just don't, I just think to me that appalls me every time I hear the word high value man, because I'm like,
Yeah.
no, why can't a man just be a man?
Well,
Is
Why
it high
God
value
you
or high earning? Because see, there's a difference.
high earn I'm talking about the high value. I think that comes from within. Your value comes from
Value has nothing. Yeah,
within.
it has nothing to do with your
But the
income.
high
Right. That's why
earning,
I said high.
the high
Yeah.
earning too, because why should you miss out because you want a high earning man? You may end up getting them that money, that got that man that got that money, but the best man for you may not be a high earning man. I'm just saying, just don't be counting out people because of their earnings. And if you get a good partner, you could come a high earning person. Okay, now how do y'all feel about the head, the all this stuff, the masculine energy and the feminine energy? I want to hear from you guys what they're trying to throw in. Y'all know the conversations that's being held. How do y'all
well,
guys feel about that? We're gonna start with Grinder, because no, DOD on top of the list. We're gonna
no, no.
start
Yeah, I'll wait. No problem.
Let JT go. Go ahead, JT.
Oh, no, why you gotta put me in the spot though?
I usually go on
Oh,
who's
okay.
on
Well,
top of the line.
okay.
No, I would say this that I do talk about like men on disability. You know,
No, I'm talking about
sometimes
the masculine. Talking about the masculinity that they're pushing. That's saying that women are, and the masculinity. They say, oh, that's masculinity. We don't want them type of women, and we the head, and they got to be in submission. All these different from
okay,
like
no.
these manosphere and these red pills and stuff like that.
Well,
How
I
do you
think
feel about that?
it could be troublesome, but this is the thing that some people ain't gonna like when I say. I'm gonna say this. God made me as a man, so I wire different as a woman. So I gotta operate in the man's nature. It doesn't mean that you know that's how God made me. I don't know what a woman is. I come from a woman,
But
but I
does
don't
that turn you off? Is the question.
It
does
turns
it
me
turn
off when a woman is not feminine. It turns me off when she's masculine, when she's
Right, and
screaming
you know,
and
yeah,
yelling
you
and
right. You got
cussing,
fun,
she's ready to
right?
fight a dude. That's a turn off to me
Yeah,
when
you
she
know, you in this space, you got fun boys, you got fun boys, and then you got women that they all want to be a man. You know, that is a turn off. It is.
right, right.
It is. So I'm saying like this. So let's say this is what I'm saying. So let's say that and stand on it. Let's talk about it because it is trouble. I don't want to deal with a woman that has masculinity. I got masculinity.
Oh, you gonna deal with me? Stop it. Let me stop.
I ain't dealing with
Let me
dealing
stop.
with man. You know what I mean? I want to kiss. I want to kiss you. No. You want to smack me in my face? Nah.
Oh no, 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 no. I don't think
What?
hands should be ever be put. But you gonna deal with me anyway with all my masculinity, okay?
And see, Tony,
But
there's
I ain't.
something that
But
you
I
say,
ain't no
Tony,
feminine.
Tony, there's something that you say, Tony, there's something that you saying. I know you're not gonna like it,
Uh-huh.
but for me, I love a woman that cooks. I love coming
And
home
I
Oh
from
just
man,
love
man,
a man that
goddamn.
cooks. And I
and
just love
Tony
a
don't
man that
like cooking.
no, no,
Me
no,
and
no, no,
Tony,
no, no,
me
no,
and
no, no,
Tony was
no. That's not what
class.
happened. It's not like I don't
You
like
said you
cooking.
don't.
No,
You
what
said you don't.
happened? Let me explain. I was Betty Crocker, but what happened was I only had one child at that time, and then from me working and stuff, and as she got older, I I stopped cooking, so I lost my
No, I'm talking about for
skills.
your man. You said you don't cook for no man. That's what you said. I've heard you say it
No, I
many
did
times.
used to, but
You
not
don't cook
now.
for no
Not
man.
now
That's,
because I
yeah, that's
lost
what
my
I just
skills.
said.
No, I've lost my skills. I'm
You
sorry.
ain't never
So
know. It's
I'm
like
not
riding
gonna.
a bike, Tony. Stop it. It's
No,
like
I'm
riding a
not.
bike.
So now the man has to cook for me. That's the rule.
See?
But don't get me wrong now.
Really?
Don't get me wrong now. I would. It's a lot of things now. If my man was like, "Boo, could you cook me something to eat?" That's I'm I'm not submissive, but I think I'm better
Mm.
than submissive.
Why do you see that as submissive?
I think I'm better than submissive.
Yo,
Being a
I think I'm
woman.
better.
yeah,
I think I'm
there
better
you
than
That's
submissive,
nothing
go.
to do with
actually,
being
right?
submissive.
I'm not submissive, but I think
What
I'm
is
better.
going
I think
on?
I'm better than
Hey,
submissive,
I'm
right?
out of this.
What does that
I
have to do with being submissive, though?
think I'm better than submissive. I'm not submissive, but I'm better than submissive because I know how to make a man feel like a king and still be myself. So I'm better. I'm
Okay.
better, and then I'm not fake at it. He knows whatever I'm doing for him is because how I feel for him. It has nothing to do with him being the head. I think if you love somebody, you treat them like you love them. And if their feet hurt, hey, you rub their feet, soak their feet, put the little salt. You like I love doing special things just because of love, not because I'm submissive. So I think I'm better. I'm better than submissive people because I'm not fake.
Tony,
So
Tony,
when he
as a woman, those things that you're doing, that would be considered submissive. That would be
no, it's
considered.
not. It's that's love.
It's
No,
but hold
that's
on, but
love.
the words that you got the word submissive is what got women caught up.
No, I'm better than submissive, baby. They ain't got nothing on me. Cause
But
I
it's
ain't.
but
I
Tony, what I'm saying is the word submissive that has women caught up. They think being submissive being a slave or being less.
yeah, yeah,
That's what women
yeah,
think the word submissive
yeah.
means.
Yeah, nah. I don't care who it is. When you love somebody, baby, you love them with everything you got. You love them with, cause see, they people here today and they gone tomorrow. So I want to be, I want. God forbid something happened to me, that man gonna say that was a good woman. That's all I look for a man to say is she's a good woman, and
And that's
I
what
do that.
that's what
I do that with everybody I love. But 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 I still don't change who I am. Now, far as like the leading part, I'm too old. What you gonna lead me to? Now, can you direct me? Like if I ask like, hey, I need this. If they see I'm doing something and they give me their criticism or something like that, that helps me grow. Now, I don't want to be led. I want to grow. That's a big difference.
See, but it's the words that you got that women are getting caught up on. These
Right,
the
but
lead, the
that's why I
this,
put in my own
that's
words,
that's what you got getting caught up at.
right. But the man has to also know too, to be able for me to say, no,
That's
boo.
why that's why there's the resistance there because of certain words. So women are resisting those
No, for
words.
my men, please. I'm so good that they still call, please. I
Yeah,
told you,
I know. I
I told
wonder
you,
why.
I'm above. I'm above.
You know what?
I'll be
I
right back.
wonder
I'm gonna stay
why.
up there, but I'll be right back.
Yeah,
All right.
okay. I wonder why.
That's because I'm better than submissives. I'm trying to tell you these. I'm
Mm.
better than submissives. I'm higher than them because
Okay.
I'm real.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
real, and they know everything I say is true. And so sometimes, like just like I saw the video, and they was like telling women, "Oh, smile." I'm like, no. What you mean? That's fake. If you just smiling. No. How about make that man smile? How about make him? How about when he come home from wherever he coming home from? Instead of you smiling, make him smile. Make him feel good.
Be careful now in the space now. They gonna say, you lady hate me. Be careful now.
No, no, I some of them women I be getting on them because I, which I don't know. I don't believe in grooming. I don't think you should groom anybody for anybody. It's either in you or it's not, and you're going to be found out in the long run. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's where a lot of women mess up. They take too much advice. Yeah, I was born like this. I
Let
was
me tell you.
by nobody had to groom me.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things you grooming people to do things that you know in reality that you know you don't do. The point of you having a YouTube channel that shows you independent. The point of you taking money from all these men that hit you up with these cash apps that show, and then you got merchandise, you got this, you got that, but you telling other women to sit back and take men money. Now
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because you're not preaching. You preaching something, but you're not doing it. You a boss. I mean, you make sure you do a video every day, 2 3 times a day, so you know that's where your money's at. You know where your people is at. But you're telling these women, do the makeup and act like this and do that, but you're not. So you're not qualified to talk to me.
Okay.
You're not qualified because even this one chick, oh my god, she like calling people hyenas and stuff. She's my number one hyena. I'm like her mouth, like talking about, oh well, women they should by 18 years old they should be on their third child. What? See that manosphere, the manosphere women is crazy. They're crazy and they groomers. They are
Wow.
they are groomers.
Wow. This is one of the first time I heard about this.
I'll show you. Come on over. I'll find that video for you and
No,
I'll play
I'm
it.
not saying you. No,
And
no, I'm not.
everything she says contains of grooming, and then I got to make sure that my man is a man, and he's never going to ever tell me, "Oh, you demasculating me." If I'm demasculating you, emasculating you, then you're not for me. Cause nothing if you could go out there in that real world and you ain't getting emasculated, my words emasculated, even though I don't believe in talking disrespectful to people. I believe I'm gonna talk to you the way I want you to talk to me. The only problem is that I'm going to tell you my boundaries. Now it's up to you to cross them. You may not like me no more. You may, because I'm not going to like if you tell me your boundaries, I'm not going to do that.
Well,
Don't, so don't tell. I'm not one of them women that you test the waters. I'm not that type of woman. Then
well, okay.
you
I
may
got
run. You may run, or we're gonna respect each other.
you.
You
Well,
always,
for me, yeah,
huh?
I get what you're saying.
I
I
ain't
get
running
it.
from no man because I'm not going. If a man say don't do this, I'm not going to do that. Or if a man say I don't like this, I'm like, if you saying I don't like mustard, I'm not going to give you mustard. If you saying like I don't like misplay, people may think this is crazy. I in any relationship I have ever had, up until they opened up Pandora's box, and it took many years to open up Pandora's box, I have never had an argument in a relationship. Never. Not one man could say, "Oh, we used to argue all the time." I have not one man that could say that until they decided they didn't understand that that's how they supposed to be treated, and they thought it was some sugar in this tank. Don't let the word sugar love fool you. And they wanted to explore other options, and then it started turmoil, and then they opened up Pandora's box, and then it was like, damn, I should have left that box closed. But
Mm.
that's after that point, I don't even want you no more because I would never re-like you again ever. I don't never re-respect nobody. You only get respect one time from me. I'm not talking about little stuff. I'm talking about when you do some real disrespectful stuff. But rather than that, I always keep it respect. That's why I say I'm better than these women. I believe I'm better than them because I have morals. I
Yeah,
women don't have no morals. They're living for the man. Now I have morals. I have standards, and I don't believe that anybody should come home, a man or a woman, and be arguing. Like I used to see men sit outside the car, like damn,
that's it.
I
That was
want to
I'm,
go
yeah.
upstairs.
I
Like
could tell
damn,
you.
I
I
don't
could,
want.
yeah,
And
I could tell
and
you
that
this.
taught me a lesson at a very young age. Not me, but watching men like why this man still parked up? Why he ain't going upstairs yet? Why is this man sitting in a car?
Or being in the park. Yeah, I tell you, being in the park. I could tell you when I was married, it's to be at times like the ex in-laws used to come over. I used to be in the park. I used to be on the bench for hours. Get my hero. This is why I was living in New York. They
Mm.
said, "Why you man? I'm not. I don't want to deal with that shit. You know, I don't. Because I didn't come from so, and so I know exactly what you're talking about. And sometimes it be like certain, oh, maybe you did something. Why I gotta do something. I'm avoiding everything. Then I go sometime. One time it'll be in the summertime. I go got me some paper plates. I used to make my food, put it in the bag, plastic fork, go right back outside, eat it and stuff like that. Time it. Okay, I'm seeing they get in the cab, go up there, tell you anything you want to talk. No, there's nothing to talk about.
And
I already
then
said what I have to say. I'm not going back, and that's what it was. But at the same time, it eats up with you, especially when you don't have a safety net that you could go to
yeah,
and
and then when
talk.
you flip it, then you got the women. They be so happy that once they look at their time, like, oh, damn, he coming home. Like I said, go both ways. Like, damn, I wish he go find a girlfriend. Oh, and that's what like what? I'm young again. Like, why they trying to get the man a girlfriend? Like, can you get away from me? Ah, that because there's no boundaries. Like when you grooming people, it doesn't work because you're being fake. That's something. It has to be something that's already in you. If you could teach it all you want, but I don't want nobody that's fake. I don't, and a lot
Tony,
of these men, they getting fake women.
or Tony, or is it just these sisters so conditioned that when they get a good guy, they don't know how to treat him because they're looking for him to do something that a bad guy would do.
I don't know because that subject is long past, but I don't know. But I just believe that from what I be seeing and all this grooming, it's like it's grooming. These ladies is man this and man this and man that, and then it's the woman and all this other like the lady who sat up there and got violated on a train. They turned it to make it her fault. And I'm like, how the f do you do? Like, when do you just like stop and be a human being? When do you stop? Oh well, they don't want our protection. What the heck do that got to do with what you're witnessing right in your face? How do you know? Well, the woman wanted the feminist. How do you know she's that woman? It's
I
like how do you like for what some women do that turn it's like that is well oh that's what y'all said. What if she didn't say that? What if she was the one
I,
that was on your side? So
I
you
think
ever
that's
pull out a cell phone and tape her get violated on a train, and then the videos that I have to see is that well
you're right.
that woman didn't want.
It happens. You're right. It
I, mean,
happens.
I think to me you're not. If you could do that, you're not of God. If
But
you can say that about a woman and let her get violated, and you the next thing you do is put up videos on a train with her minding her business and got assaulted. And I know y'all heard the story, but I just can't say it in detail because you know how YouTube is. And the only thing you can say is, "Oh, it's her fault. We ain't helping no women. They didn't want us. They didn't want the protection." I'm like, "You're not of God. You are not of God. There's a special place in hell for you." If you think it's okay that a woman get violated, it should be certain times when you have to turn it. You could turn it on and turn it off. The same way, I'm not going to have something happen to a man where they being that they hate us.
okay,
So now, hey, whatever, and something happens directly in my face, then
I could
there's a special place in hell for me too.
Well, you know what? I could tell you this a few times in my lifetime. I had come to the aid of the woman. And you know what the woman had told me? I don't
No, I'm
need
talking.
you.
No, I'm talking about what happened on the train
No, I understand what
yesterday.
you're saying. I'm just talking about sometimes with us as men, we deal with sometimes. Sometimes we put ourselves out there and help. So I'm not brushing all women, but I'm talking about
Even
some.
if you didn't help her, at least you didn't say that's her fault because she didn't want men protection. Some men, that's what these men said on these YouTube streets.
Yeah, but the right,
Tony,
I
but Tony,
understand that.
you can't dismiss JT's experience. You
I
can't
mean
dismiss
not,
it.
but I'm saying his
That's what I'm
experience.
see. That's what I'm see. This
No,
is
but
this is like
that's
what I'm talking
changing. But
about.
that was changing the subject. We're gonna tell him his experience, but I'm speaking upon a particular subject. Then he can go into his experience. Go ahead, Grinder.
No, what I'm saying to make a long story short, she said, I don't need your motherfucking protection. I could do it myself. Okay, I got it. Have a good life. And trust me, it does happen quite much, but we don't hear nothing about it because sometimes we keep it to ourselves. And I never forget I was like going to see my late mother because at the time it was going on a year that my father had passed. And I told my mom about it. I like you say that protect women. Well, look what happened to me. She said, "Well, baby, I'm just had to let you know there are some women it's like that, but you just remember you did it. You did a good deed. You know what I'm saying? You looked out and everything. So, but but in this world, that's how some of them is. You
Okay,
know,
but does this woman I'm speaking upon got violated on a train instead of anybody helping her or calling the police or what's up, Trey House, or calling the police? They videotaped her being violated on a train for 13 stops.
That's a terrible thing. Terrible.
And what they tell us in the video is because women have no, that woman said that. Not every woman said that. And nobody say put a cape on and go save her. We saying you could at least call 911. It took for one of the cameras to pick up what was happening, and the lady who worked for transit had to call the police. But nobody on the train, no man did. And then what you get on the YouTube streets is that's because women said they don't need our protection.
I didn't
Okay,
see that video, Tony. Did any of the women? Were there any women up there? Did they call?
huh?
Did any of the
No,
women on the train call?
no,
It was a
no,
public train.
nobody called.
Okay, so men or women? Because you just emphasize men. No men
No,
call.
I said the
What about the
men.
women?
I said the men put up videos
Right.
on YouTube stating that it was her fault. I'm not stating that.
Well, of course we know it wasn't her fault. We
No, but
know that.
these are the videos. Check them out. These are the videos that, as I was doing the story, I said, let me check and see did anybody say it was her fault. And sure, if ish don't stink. I checked and you seen what was her fault. And these were the men putting out these videos. And then we had
A woman walking butt naked down the street doesn't mean that's an invitation for anybody to sexually assault her.
right, and then you had some women who also works with the manosphere people. Here they go agreeing with them, and I'm like, what happened to humanity? I don't. I ain't nobody said put your cape on to be Superman, but why should somebody catch it on a camera when we got people on the train? Okay, that makes it even worse. But then to turn around and see videos and not one's none in like how can you I would never have put that video out. Well, it's her fault because women said they don't want our pot. She never said that. Did she say that to you? How many matter of fact, how many women said that to you? Are they the ones who need help or a helpless woman that's being violated by a man?
Well, I couldn't myself. I couldn't have been on the train and just watched it
now
just being.
I couldn't be on it either. I'm saying like this. I have been in situations that in my lifetime that I fuse situation quick. I said, "Yo, bro, I understand. I understand. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This is what you do where you live. You live. This is I was living in Queens at the time, bro. Let her go. Yeah, do. You just come back around my way. Let's chill. You hungry or something? Yeah, don't worry. But when we get off the train, there's a restaurant. We gonna get some. We gonna chill. All right. Do she have a page? Yeah, the three way. Remember the three-way page? It was out back in the early '90s. You know. So you call up. Let her know. Let her stay another day and just work it out. Come on. I took upon
Yeah,
myself.
but you're talking about something totally different. But I get what you're saying. I'm talking
No,
upon
but
strangers.
it could have turned into something more had
It
JT
could have
not.
turned to something else, but I fused
Yeah,
the
but
situation quickly.
we're talking about people you don't know. Remember, the lady got RAP on the train with the E there. These are people who don't know each other. These are people who not involved with each other. We're not talking about people who having a problem with their woman or they girl or they man. We're talking about just literally minding your business on a train, trying to get home, and somebody takes and rips your clothes off and stuff. I can't get so dramatic on here.
Yeah,
That's what I'm referring to.
I
That
understand what you're saying. Yeah, I
right,
get it. I get it. I get
right.
it.
So I didn't want to confuse the two stories.
Nah, you didn't confuse it. I'm
You
just
talk.
trying to
You're talking
right,
about people who know each other.
right.
But
But
I'm saying,
also, right, okay.
but to say it was her fault because this is what women wanted, I thought that was a lot harsh. You know, it was a very harsh. And them people who made them videos, it's a special place in hell for you. Because that could have been your sister, that could have been your mother, it could have been your own daughter. But being that it didn't affect your family, but it affected somebody else's family. Now you come with how do you even stomach it up to make a video like that?
I put it like this though, that it goes for men and women that person is get violated, fuse the situation quickly. Just do it. And but also we also have, especially in our community, they are some of them are gender driven, men and
Hmm.
women.
Hmm.
They are
Exactly. Exactly.
and so this is what I'm saying because I'm reading the comments of there are some of them are gender driven. So at the end of the day, I would say that am I a human being? It goes vice versa. Am I a human being? That's the end of the day because I ask for me, right? And I get what you say, sis, because you know you've been consistent. So I've been saying like this, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, am I a human being? If something that happened to me, will you call the cops? Will you do whatever I can to respect my existence to make sure that I'm safe? And that's the end of the day. That's why like
Well,
sometimes like
anybody who stands there and tape it, uh, something wrong with them. And any woman that would do a video, if you were forever not putting it in the atmosphere, so I'm going to just not put it in the atmosphere. So I don't want anything to ever happen to you. But if some woman does put that or make a video about, oh, well, we tired of the black man, so hey, he on his own. It's a special place in hell for them too. Because at the end of the day, we are human. And we're going to allow things to happen to each other because it is gender war. It's crazy. It is crazy. And we can't speak up for each other and saying, like, one thing about DOD now, he like me, he go both ways. He speak up for the women and for the men. I seen him speak up for women plenty of times. And then he speak up for men, he speak up for women. He swing both ways. Like I swing both ways. I don't even know why I said swing both ways like that. I take that back. But
We
yeah,
know what you mean, sis. We know what you
yeah,
mean.
but it just don't it don't sound right.
no, it just for me, it's like
It
it
don't
just
sound right.
yeah,
We
it just
we
it's
we don't do the gender war thing. That sound better,
I don't
DOD.
see
There you go. There you
see
go.
I don't do the ginger war too, but this is the thing that people fail to understand. If it's wrong on both sides, I'm gonna say it's wrong. But it seems like, oh, you on the man's side, I said no. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I'm saying this that you can. This is like this. See, I was raised this way. and I was raised on both sides of my late mother and my late father. The majority was women. And they say they go and say this, hey, if she's wrong, she's wrong. If a man's wrong, man's wrong. I give you case in point. Again, I went to shopping with my late grandmother one time, right? It was this lady, I'm not gonna say her name, right? She was a fast one. You know what I'm saying? In Brownsville, she was a fast one. You know, very nasty and everything. Parents was in and out and everything. So she tried to talk to me, and I ain't trying to hear you though. You know what I mean? So kind of find out when I went shopping. This is the time I spent with my grandma like on a weekend. So we went like Friday night. You know, she said, "You want to go shopping?" I said, "I don't care, grandma. Let's go shopping." We went to like somewhere in deep East New York. I forgot the it was a supermarket. I forgot the name of it, but it was open 24 hours. Well, even get back to the
The
story. We
red,
still up,
just something Dell,
huh?
something Dell.
Yeah, something like that. Right,
Damn it,
something like that. So, make a long story short, so she said, "Yeah, you scared, you a P and stuff like
Sunnydale,
that."
Sunnydale, Sunnydale.
Sunnydale, bang, Sunnydale, right? So we were dealing like get the stuff and everything, and so my grandma, hey, go, whoop, whoop, whoop. I know, baby, you go get that stuff right here. I said, okay. So I got the stuff for the dinner and stuff like that. So I know you ain't going let her have it. I'm talking about let her have. But Miss Passy, no. You is a fast one. You is a fast train. And ain't no way in hell that my granddad, he said no. Let him go. Let him be. You need to straighten out yourself. That is your problem. You got people keep on saying that you doing something right, but you ain't doing nothing right. Straighten up right. And I'm talking about when I cast her head, grandma made her cry, made her put her head down. It's not this. I said, you need to be accountable what you're doing. Stop it. Stop. He don't want to be around. He don't want to be around you. And then you want to go and say that he did this. And so what I learned, what the reminder is, you know, be accountable. Even young men, be accountable. And that's what sometimes when we just see certain things. I ain't gonna say nothing because I got hurt. So hell with that man or hell with that woman. They just got it. They just got to get it. That to me, that is a dangerous attitude to have, and also those are dangerous people to be around with. It really is. That's what, like, as for me, every day I try to do whatever I can. I check myself. I do whatever I can, try to improve. But it's hard here, but I do it. Just standing for what's be right. You know what I'm saying?
I started to ask her the deal a question, but he dropped out. But you know what? I try to explain to people too, and when people don't seem to understand, because a lot of people don't believe in it. But
Mhm.
sorry to say, oh yeah, my group is the Human Sphere. If anybody want to join the Human Sphere, that's the name of my new group. And the president of it is Truly Lace, because she came up with the hashtag Human Sphere.
Okay,
So if y'all want to be down with the Human Sphere,
I'm good.
both genders are more than welcome. Now,
Okay.
a lot of people don't understand. Like, even when you're trying to date, people don't take the time to learn people. It's only four elements, right? You got water, fire, earth, and air. Like your element is air, right? Because you're a gem, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You know Gemini's ain't for everybody, right?
Sure ain't.
But my thing is, people don't take that in consideration. So air is also a masculine sign. Fire is a masculine sign. Water and earth are feminine signs. So there's no way somebody can easily come out. I'm not talking about being disrespectful or whatever, but it's like dating an Aries woman. You can't take her out of her being to satisfy. So
That's who they
sometimes,
are. That's who
let me
they are.
let me exact. So yeah, so a lot of people they want, if you're looking for like a straight up woman, that Aries or that Aquarius or that Sagittarius or that Leo may not be for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because them are they that's fire. That fire got to go, and that air has to travel, and that fire has to travel. That's why they masculine sign. These. So if it's that way for the men, what makes you think it's not that way for the women?
So what's your
Unless
sign?
I'm the number one. But
Gotcha. Got you. Got you.
what's
Got you.
that?
What's your sign again?
I'm number one. You said you got me. So what is the
I
number
got you.
one?
I got you. I got you. I got
So
you.
what is the number one, baby?
Gemini.
Shut up. No, I'm not.
I'm just messing
But
with
I
you.
love, Gemini my favorite sign. That's why you bothering me. Them Gems. That's why I don't care what nobody say. Can't nobody say nothing wrong about no Geminis. Yes, I know y'all shadow side to the T. But what I'm saying is, when you in the dating circle, sometimes you have to take that in consideration. I am a lioness. Yes. So anybody who deals with me, yes, easy breezy, but you also know that you could talk to me and you could ask me anything. I'll do anything, but girlfriend don't take orders. You got to find a way. I would do what you want me to do, but it has to be in a can you do this, not do this, because the line it's a beast.
Yeah.
It's a beast in there. But a lot of people need to know these things so they can say, you know what? I know for a fact. Oh, you share Mercury, so you is Virgo. Cause Virgo and yeah, Virgo and Gemini share the same planet. So y'all move really fast. So anybody who deal with you, they gonna have to keep up with your mind. Oh my God. But that's what makes y'all my favorite sign. Cause y'all mind moves
Really?
damn fast.
That's
Yes.
rare. Really? Wow.
Yeah. hmm That's my favorite sign. Aries, my neck, my other favorite sign.
I know people had told me say they say what they said
Yeah.
that oh you a twin, you said me you crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm
Yeah,
not
y'all
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, y'all
I,
crazy. Yeah, y'all
So
crazy.
y'all just not
But you
gonna finish
wouldn't
the
know because
video at all,
the other side took over. You
Nah,
got
crazy. It's just that certain things that I'm very outspoken of certain things. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna.
that's the crazy part. Look at don't that go for all Jim? Look at Tupac. Look at Tupac. Look at Kanye. Y'all all do the same thing. That's just how y'all are. But don't. What I'm saying is, if you know that's how gyms are, you're gonna get that from people forget. But that well, females
You
gonna
gonna
be
get that
the
from
same.
a woman too, yo.
Right. So a lot of men have to take that in consideration in their vetting. That listen, I don't know if she's a true Aries, but I do know for a fact, God damn, that Aries could be more man than me. Okay, then you gotta say, well, this person goes from okay, like Aquarius, they can go from 0 to 100 and just like that. But Aries is never at zero. Aries is always on like 70. So they go from 70 to so sometimes you have to take these things in consideration. You can't take people out of their natural. So some people they're just masculine energy. And you cannot change that. So a lot of things you look sometimes long as it's like respect or something like that, but like father, they're not the sit at home people. A Gemini female, I feel sorry for her because she's not a sit at home person. She must be doing something. She's not
She's like,
meant to sit
oh, she
home.
always on the go. She always on the
She
go.
has to be. That's air. Air has
Yeah.
to move. Air has to move. And if they stagnant, it's not good for it to be stagnant. So y'all take people out of their natural element, females out of that natural element. So I'm like, you can't. That's like telling the Aries to stay home and don't think of things to do. They'll be miserable. I mean, why would you want a woman just so they can be miserable, just so you can say I have a feminine woman when they're not feminine by nature? Then they could use their femininity. That's different. That's different.
Okay.
That's two different things. Because just like a Virgo woman, they can be very feminine and they can turn into a dude just the same. Like Virgos and Aries, they can be feminine as could be, but they could turn into a dude just as quick. They can roll with you. They can outsmart you. They can outthink you, and they could probably knock you out if they wanted to. I'd be like, whoa, you went from feminine. Sometimes people be shocked. You changed real quick. What happened?
Tony.
Hmm.
So are we gonna do horoscopes or are we gonna go and finish
No,
the
because
video?
too much time has went by. So
That's what I'm saying.
no,
Yes.
my mom was on that, but then I'm like, no, it's gonna be too long. So I said, let's just finish with the panel. I was there
Well, I
because
gotta go anyway because I gotta prepare for 10:35. I just want to call, show you love, and keep up the good work and everything. You know.
yeah, I would have to do a whole new chat to start Cynthia G over
Oh, Cynthia G. Oh, okay.
because she was hey, listen, I do both. Nobody complain when I do the red pill. Nobody complain when I do the manosphere, and then
No,
them.
no, 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 no. I'm
Oh
just saying that. I'm just saying. Oh, because that's like, whew. What I heard. Yeah. That's all.
yeah, but I hear both extremes because I'm with the humans. Remember, my group is the human sphere.
Okay.
My group is the human sphere. But I like to hear both extremes because I like to hear different people's point of view. I like to hear what you gotta say. I like to hear what they got to say. I don't agree with either one of them. I don't believe when she talk about not birthing men, that's what you call genocide. Of course, I don't agree with that at all. There's that's not even a thought. She doesn't understand that's another form of genocide. That's another form of you controlling the population. It makes absolutely no sense. But then I listen to a lot of things that the men say, and I'm saying, you know what? Y'all just getting people money. Y'all coming up with a lot of extreme stuff. So all her women, they like that. She get more money for that. And then when the red pill and them say extreme stuff, they get more money for that. That's why you got to come to the human sphere. I don't need to get a penny from you guys. I just like for people to speak their point of view. And we're not the extremists, and we don't follow none of that because I see they can pay good money to say the most extreme stuff. So that leads me to believe that they don't believe it themselves. And I'm not made to follow no one. I'm not
Yeah, I
made
agree
to
with that
follow.
because I agree with that because she's not talking to those divestment women. She's not talking to swirlers because they don't deal with black men. So they're not going to birth black boys. She's talking to these young up and coming women who may be on the fence on whether or
Uh-huh.
not to date black men. Those who
That's genocide. You're right, bro.
that and then the fact that you said she's out for the bag.
They
That's
all
all they
for the back.
all
All
right,
both
right.
of the extremes.
All those
Both
Cynthia
of the
G, those
extremes.
Hannah dudes, yeah, they're about the bag when it comes to being that extreme. Yeah, I agree.
That and then to sell us, they stay. Both of them are selling us regular people out for a bag, for a bag. And I think, but I still have to know what's going on. I like to keep my eyes and my ears to the street. So of course I'm gonna go listen to what she say. And then somebody asked me in my thing, what's your point? I ain't got no point on that. What's how you? I know. I just report and do commentary. I just now we're talking on the chat now we're talking. But if I'm showing a video, that's not because I believe in it. It's because I report and I do commentary. That's what I do. But what don't know that's genocide. And then them same boys that you got rid of when you get a certain age, who are you gonna call? When you get older, that's your
But
sons that come.
ask
Hey
them.
son, hey son. I said that in my when she did that, whoever left that comment didn't hear when I said that. When you can't move and you need somebody to help you, you gonna wish you had a boy. Can't do
Yeah,
the
but
light, can't put the light
ask them
bulb
if
up.
their brothers. Ask them if their brothers and their sons that are born now should they have been aborted.
And her
I
mind
bet you
ain't, but
the answer will be no. Then
her answer would be yes,
ask
because
Cynthia
in
G
her
should
mind,
her brothers have been aborted.
and then she claimed, what have any black man done for the community? And then you hear the step, like I said, it goes back and forth. So I really don't get too much into what either one of them say, because if I do, I'm falling for the okey doke from either extreme. I just listen and do report. I put no feeling and emotion and what none of them say. And I'm not like, sometimes the men make good points, sometimes women make good points. On here, when that 18-year-old got married to that 40-something-year-old man, we tore that mother a new asshole. Because you should have heard the mother was, we got into her ass. I tell you, we equal opportunity here. And like the grinder said, was right is right and was wrong is wrong. We tore her a new one. And we see that you out of order, we got something to say, man or female. It's equal opportunity here that we the humans feel. Because my
I
main
can't
thing
see
is the
no
kids.
grown 51, 61-year-old man. I can't see one to marry no 18-year-old. That's crazy to me.
Right, exactly. That's that. You on? Come on now. That's
Sick.
wrong.
That is sick.
That's sick. That's sadistic. That's premeditated.
I mean,
And he
you're
was
no
the
worse than that.
godfather. He also was the godfather. He was his
Yeah, the God,
official.
that's worse. That's worse. Cause I'm a godfather.
Mm.
You know that I can't stomach that. Yo, girl, you should do something. I'm not doing no story. Everybody do a story. I'm not doing it. Nah. I can critique it. Oh, but you know that means you not everybody else is doing. I mean, it's wrong. Come on.
Plain and simple.
There's no
Period.
defending. There's no defending
Her
that.
mother is, I'm sorry, her mother is worse. Her mother
I
is
agree
one
with
of the
that
women.
too.
Her mother is one of the women. If you heard what the mother was saying, she's one of the women that is in You got some women that's in competition with their kids. Because the whole thing, the whole time the mother was explaining it, oh, my VJ is tight. Oh, my VJ is this. Well, like, what do that got to
That's
do?
crazy.
What do I mean? What do the heck did that have to do with the daughter get marrying a man that you brought in her life?
Right.
And her first daughter got touched too. So she left, and she was in and out of jail, and she was running the street. Now y'all can give her a name, whatever name y'all call them type of mothers. I don't know the names, but we tore her a new ass
Yeah,
on this channel.
I ain't gonna say nothing about that. Yeah, but you know what it is. But like
No, because that goes on with a lot of these daggone kids. That goes on with a lot of these kids. Their mamas want to be on out there drinking and smoking, and they want to be in competition with their kids. See, this is the human sphere. I care about the kids come first. I care about, I work with kids, so
yeah, I know. Yeah, we
so
talk.
you know for a fact if I see a
Mhm.
child being abused, and especially from their mother.
Mhm.
And then you did that girl so bad, she done ended up marrying and then the daughter sound just like the damn mother. Should have heard her, thought she was reading us, not
Mhm.
knowing, chick, you 18, this man ain't even working, you're working, you taking care of his other kids and your kid,
Or else
but
you
you,
like them Pookies, right? Pookies and Ray Rays, right?
this man's a 61-year-old man. I don't know what the heck he was, because
61-year-old Pookie and Ray Ray. The motherfucker, if he ain't working, he ain't doing shit, he ain't took care of his own kids.
yeah, but
Well, that,
Pookie and Ray Ray
there you
doesn't
go.
stand. But Pookie and Ray Ray doesn't stand for not working. Pookie and Ray Ray stand for a
For me,
man
it do.
who ain't
For
ish.
me, it do.
Oh,
That's my
but
definition of
that's not a
one. Them
Pookie or Ray Ray.
dudes that
I
ain't
don't know what
doing
name.
nothing,
I don't
standing
know
on the
what
corner ain't working.
he's a no. He is a groomer and he's a predator. He's not even a Pookie. He's not even a
Oh
Ray
yeah,
Ray. He's
that
a
too.
predator.
He's that too.
He's a
Yeah,
predator
yeah, he's that
because he's known of touching kids prior to her. Pookie and Ray Ray don't go around touching on kids. That's the predators who do that. So we're gonna call it what he is. That's not Pookie nor Ray Ray. That's a predator, and he grooms kids. And she wasn't the first kid that he groomed. That he groomed.
yeah, I don't know.
And the mother in competition. The whole thing she's talking about what she can do, and I know how I get down, and I have men, and I'm like, what the freak? What the?
And then
I,
she had the nerve to say that she slept with him for
oh yeah,
money and a cell phone while she was with the
Yeah,
daughter. She's just horrible.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, but like I said, you don't hear stories. I mean, you don't hear people critique like that in the space. Sad thing about it, you just don't.
no, honey, I will put a woman on a blast and the man on the blast, whoever, anybody can get it. This the human. I keep telling you, this the human sphere. This is the human sphere.
But you understand, bro, DOD, you don't hear stuff like that in the space.
Right, you're right.
You don't. You don't. We got to
You're
be
right.
honest. We don't. But it's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear that. It ain't all about no bashing women. Ain't all about no bashing men. It's good that we can critique both sides.
What
And
JT said earlier, holding people accountable.
that's all I'm saying. Both.
The
It
brother
cannot
said
be
it.
uneven. It can't.
That's like some women, they like to be their children's friend. I got a problem with that. I got a problem when women sit up there. I don't know if it's different for men, but I don't think it's cool for a woman to drink or smoke and pass it to their child. I just think
Wow.
that is the most disgusting thing. But I do know when some men do that with their sons. I
They
don't
do
know
with
if
their
it's,
sons too. Yeah.
but I just think it's different for a woman. I just don't. It just doesn't look right to pass a blunt to your kid. It just doesn't
yo,
look right. It just
yo,
but
hit one. Yo,
for men,
son, hit.
maybe for men is different. I don't
No, it's
feel
wrong. It's wrong.
it's wrong. But
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
wrong.
Yeah,
feel,
yeah.
but I don't know. Cause I know a lot of time when boys get a certain age, here, drink this and
No,
whatever.
that ain't
Now,
happened
but
to me. That ain't happened to me. No.
I've seen it. But I just think that you now, if they got the habit, you now gave it to them.
Mm-mm.
Or if you know they're doing it already, it ain't being done in this house. You better go outside, out going out, but you can't do it here. But some of them let them do it in the house, and it all goes back to like when was we ever like really raised? I'm like Jesus, Mary and Joseph. But a lot of things with women, I you know, I don't do say it as holding her accountable, but I do say that speaking upon, because you're not accountable to me, you're hurting your child, so you're
Yeah,
accountable to your child. That's the point that I was trying to say. Like
that's
anything you do, I can say what I want to say to you, but you don't owe your accountability to me. You owe your accountability to your child. And then what if you can't fix your child?
that's
What
true.
if what
Well,
if your child is that
You got to
messed
call
up?
it out. But you got to call it out.
No, you
And
can
that's
call
what
it out.
you
You
got to
can
call it
call it
out.
out, but that doesn't mean calling it out that they're going to change the
No,
situation.
no. They may not change, but you still got to call it out.
yeah.
But
Well, I gotta go. I gotta do my live. But thanks again, sis. And then you be seeing me. I hope to see y'all soon.
all right, I know you're going to be on for a little bit, so I'm going to come over there and bother you.
You
All
only
right,
bother
JT.
me.
Take care,
That's
brother.
good. I rather a good woman bother me than a man. The man bother. Hey, yo, where your masculinity at, but nah, that's not good, man. That's not good, dog.
But you know, I like to be a little masculine sometimes. 'Cause I like for men to say, I like for men to make me want to feel feminine. I like to be a little bit masculine. I be playing with y'all men though, right? And then I
Hmm.
like when a men like make me shut up. I think that is so romantic.
Yo, I I need to drink some spirit water on that.
I think that's so romantic. I'm like, what? He made me shut up. Oh shit.
Wow, yeah.
Mm.
You know me, I'm all laughs. My any man that be me, you gonna laugh, you gonna have a good time. Cause I only got one life to live. So if you're gonna be miserable, you be miserable by yourself. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna joke. We're gonna take towels and pat each other with the towels and just do fun stuff. Cause that's
It's
what my
nice meeting you, DOD.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
you
Sounds good
you,
to
you
me. All
probably
right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed night.
all
Hope
right.
to
I
see
go
you later.
bother you in a little bit, but that's
All right. God
DOD.
bless.
He always speak what's right. That's why we've been cool for a long time. I know for a fact that he doesn't um he doesn't pick and choose. Men is just right and then women are just wrong. We've been friends too long for that. Now, I remember one time this guy was getting ready to get on me. DOD had somewhere to go. He jumped in real quick and then left real quick. Remember that, DOD?
Yeah, I remember that.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
No, that was a while. Wow, that was a while back, but it wasn't
Yeah,
that while back.
he wasn't finna let him do.
But see, I'm not worrying about it, man, because my thing is this. Now, I can flip the script, just like everybody here can flip the script. But if we all talking respectably, we're gonna keep it that way. But if you want to, now we can flip. I can flip it. But I just like the peace. But sometimes, you know, if you want to keep the, as long as nobody, the women this, women that, then now I'm gonna have to flip the script. Because guess what? We ain't none of us perfect. That's another reason why I be careful how I call people out too. Because when it's your turn to get them stones thrown on you, you gonna wish you had was a little bit humble with people that who you was bashing or who you was talking about, because everybody got their day. And then sometimes you wonder why some things are wrong in your life, because you're spending all your time degrading people, and you're not supposed to do that. Now, if you want to speak upon it, that's one thing. But telling men, oh, like when men be like, oh, I know women. No, you don't. Women, I know men. No, you don't. You're not in their body. You're not in their train of thought. You don't have testosterone like that. Now, once you get the menopause, you start losing your estrogen, and
Testosterone.
then you get more
Mhm.
testosterone. Now you can kind of,
Testosterone.
yeah. Shush. She always correcting me because I make my own words up. Once we get on menopause, now we got more testosterone. That's when you see that hair growing under the chin and everywhere else. And it's like, yo, we got to shave like a man and shit. Right? We got to be in front of the mirror, get the stuff, do the little shaving and stuff. Hair start growing. Some women get mustaches and stuff. Oh,
Hey, 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 hey! You telling too much now.
listen, that's Mother Nature. That's Mother Nature. That's Mother Nature. That is Mother Nature. But I think I'm going to end this, and I'm going to do this again tomorrow because I wanted to do the Taharka Bay on the other channel, but I'm going to go bother. I'm going to go bother. I'm going to bother JT, but he's under the. Oh man, I should have dropped his link. Let me see. Is he on yet? Is he under the number one grinder now, or is if he's still under underrated darkness? Because I don't get none of his things no more. Which one is he under,
He
DOD?
might be
You know?
underrated darkness.
He's still underrated. He just put the number one grinder on his thing, right?
Yeah.
And how do
Unless
you
he
feel about the Kitten Hills saying that he advocate for men loving men? Have you heard that story?
yeah, I heard it.
Please
I saw
break.
a couple of
Please,
people doing it.
I haven't sent it, so I don't want to say anything. What was he saying, and what was he meaning by that? Can you please break that down to us?
What it sounded like to me, he was talking about if women don't want to, black women don't want to, get in line, that men need to date out, date other races of women. But he also said that he need to be checking out the men as well. That's what he said. I don't believe it was no slip because he didn't correct himself. You know what I'm saying? You slip like that, you normally you come back and you're corrected. So no, I meant, women. But he didn't correct himself. So he was saying not only should you date out with other races, but men should also be checking out or getting with other men. That's what he said.
Uh-oh.
He said it.
Okay, so he didn't mean what he said. I think I'm gonna cover that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna cover that manana. I'm gonna definitely cover that. But welcome to the human sphere, DOD.
Oh yeah, I love it over here.
Welcome to the
I
human.
want to hear more from Boss Lady though. She's so quiet.
Yeah, no, I had a migraine today. I'm
Well,
really,
I want you
but
to stay here for a second. I'm going to close out. You don't move, okay, DOD?
All right.
I'm going to talk to you in the back chat. Guys, this is finished because we then made it a panel. I will do this over tomorrow. Thank you and peace out.